All right. I'm feeling good. You guys ready? You got to get in the mode.
Yeah, you ready? Ready?
I'm fucking ready, dog.
Shit's happening.
Let's get it.
You are listening to the Bomb Hole.
Bomb Hole Podcast.
It's going to be very hot. It's going to be very uncomfortable for everybody.
The Bomb Hole.
I'm a hot little potato right now.
Holy shit, was that an inverted cancer in 80 with a melon grab? That bitch is crazy.
Okay, we're doing it. We are doing it. Welcome to the Bomb Hole. I'm your host, Chris Grenier. We got my co-host over here, E-Stone, a.k.a. Stony Buds.
In the building.
So we came up with a good nickname for ourselves the other day. Since he's Stony Buds, I'm Gren Diesel. Together, we're Bud Diesel, okay?
Yes, what's up?
So
Bud
if you see
Diesel.
us together, refer to us as Bud Diesel from here on out. This guy is the man of the hour. We're happy to have him. Ladies and gentlemen, Justin Bennee. How we doing, JB?
Shit, doing good. Nice to be here.
So stoked to have you here right now.
Hell yeah, it's a pleasure to have you on this thing. Really excited to talk to you today. Yeah, man, so you grew up in Utah, correct?
Actually, I was born in Hawaii.
Oh, really?
Yeah, North Shore,
Did
Oahu.
not know that.
I did not know that either. That's insane.
Yeah, I was a little howly boy growing up.
Okay, wow. Oh.
Howley.
All right, right out of
Yeah.
the gate, he's throwing us for a loop.
Yeah.
Okay.
How old
your shit
did you live?
straight.
Did you live in Hawaii for?
I lived there till I was like 7.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and then my mom's from Utah. My dad's Canadian. We ended up moving back to Utah, get close to family and shit.
Young Howley moves to Utah.
Yeah, young howly, man. They don't like white kids in Hawaii when you grow up there, but it was cool.
Did
Why
they
is
give
that?
you
That's a
give
trip.
you a little beef or it was chill?
Yeah, dude, my first day of preschool, I was supposed to go, and I ended up running and hiding in my neighbor's boat. So, like,
It was like
Classic boat hideout scenario.
yeah, like in the bow, I like pulled the cover back over me and shit, and my mom had like a whole search squad like looking for me.
Just
because
because the Lokes were after you, or
they just didn't like little white boys, you know.
Whoa.
We grew here, you flew here, type shit.
even
Damn.
though you grew there?
Huh?
Even though you grew there?
I did grow there.
You look different, though.
Yeah, you look different.
Yeah, I mean it wasn't like that bad. There was like
But you're hiding in
little
boats.
fights and shit. But
Yeah,
yeah, I
that's
just was
crazy.
scared, you know. But yeah, grew up in Hawaii. My mom and dad got married and lived there for like 16 years. But yeah, pretty much most of my life in Utah.
Insane. So what me and Buds were talking about is that you got into snowboarding here, but you were never really like a resort baby. Like you were kind of like, how did you get into snowboarding?
Yeah, what got you to the mountain?
Well, it's kind of crazy. I didn't have like the type of parents that bought me all the shit to go snowboarding, you know. And I actually lived next door to Bjorn and Eric Linus.
No way.
Yeah, growing up. And
Shouts to the Linuses.
Linus
shout.
brothers.
so,
We're learning they're very influential amongst the kids
God,
in this community.
I don't think I would have ever made it to where I was if it wasn't for them. Like straight up, I was a little hustler when I was a kid, and I started my own lawn mowing business. It
Okay.
was called the Lawnmower Man. I made like flyers and shit.
So sick.
Like drew a picture of like this mean looking lawnmower like eating grass and shit. But
Oh, sick.
I went around the neighborhood and got like 10 to 15 houses I was mowing lawns for, and I knocked on the Linus's door, and their mom answered, and I remember she was like, "Oh, you're just the cutest little boy. I think you'd really like my sons." And she showed me a Transworld cover of Bjorn. She's like, "This is my son." And I was like, "Holy shit, like that's the dude I see walking home from school every day." I'd see him like, I don't know, packing his car up with snowboard shit. And anyway, I started mowing their lawns and met Bjorn. I think I met Bjorn first, but it wasn't long after that they like invited me into their room and shit, and I saw like all this fucking Forum and Oakley and Volcom shit. Just like he
Paraphernalia.
was just dipped, man.
Dude, that's like era of the Super Pro, Forum 8. Just like
Yeah.
they were larger than life.
It was those times too. So I remember I like saw his room and just like he was cool as fuck. And I made the decision that day, like, shit, this is what I want to do, you know?
And you hadn't even tried snowboarding yet.
I hadn't. And he actually hooked me up with, like, enough extra gear to go up. But
so sick.
so he gave me gear. And then the next hurdle was like, fuck, my parents don't really have a lot of money. They're not going to, like, give me money or a ride. So I got a pair of wire cutters and hitchhiked up to Brighton every day I could and just fucking clipped passes.
Did this the hard way.
Sorry, Winkler, but
He wasn't there at the time.
yeah, so I just had to do it. Just how I had to do it.
Yeah.
You know? But
By any means.
Yeah, any means necessary.
yeah, so I guess I just kind of fell in love with that. I kind of had like some fucked up shit going on at home, so it was like my escape.
Yep.
It was like as soon as I got up to those mountains and was snowboarding, that was what was life, you know.
Yep.
It wasn't the bullshit at home. And it was crazy because I came home one day and I was like all excited and shit. My mom was married to this fucking asshole at the time, and I was like, shit, I want to be a pro snowboarder. I think, like, this is my shit, you know. And he was like, you're never gonna be a pro snowboarder.
Yo.
He's like, you ain't ever gonna be shit. In fact, I'll bet you $100 you won't even ever get sponsored. I was
Wow.
like, damn. So I think that's what gave me the juice to, like, prove that motherfucker
Prove
wrong.
this
you
dick
know?
wrong,
So,
right?
Yeah, it was crazy. And then years go by, and I got my first cover. And my mom fucking had me sign it, and then she wrote "fuck you," threw it in his mailbox.
Who shot this cover?
You.
Oh, shit.
Oh, that was me. My bad. Stony
You were-
bud.
You were 16 years old, dude, right?
Yeah, not to jump forward too
Yeah.
much.
No,
but
I mean, at this age, you're 7. This is your formative years, right?
formative
I guess
years,
before
yeah.
the cover, what, like, you decided you wanted to get into snowboarding before you even snowboarded. So
Yeah.
when you get out on a mountain, like, you must have got good quick then, because if I met you
Yeah,
at 16 and you're getting a cover here.
Yeah, I guess I was
Spite's
pretty young.
Spite's a powerful motivator.
Yes,
dude.
That is true, man. No, I remember, like, I think back on, like, my mindset, and I try to apply it today even. But I remember those days of snowboarding, and I was always like, I'm gonna make this happen. And I like convinced myself that there was no other reality. You know what I mean? It was like I saw myself as a pro snowboarder. I saw exactly where I wanted to be, and it was like there was no option. It was just like, that's what's going to happen, you know? I think in anything in life, if you like, I guess you'd call it manifesting,
Yeah.
you know? I guess I fucking manifested that
Straight
shit.
up.
And it worked. How old were you when you went snowboarding that first time?
I was like, I don't know, 13 or something.
Damn, so
I
in
had
3
gone-
years, you had a cover locked.
Yeah.
Well, I had gone like a couple
Shouts to Stony Bud.
I had gone a couple times
He's the
before
one
that.
who did it.
My dad actually took me on the first time I ever went snowboarding. He decided it was a good idea to take me to the tram.
At the Bird?
The classic
Bird,
move, bring the kid to the
tram.
top.
For those that don't know, rowdy run.
Yeah, not a good first day snowboarding run, but yeah, I was like not used to the elevation and had to like plug in oxygen in the ski patrol booth.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah, I
They
couldn't-
do that?
I couldn't breathe.
I
and
didn't
was,
even
like,
know they do that.
panicking and shit. But yeah, so I was whatever, like 13, something like that.
You survive that, though. You're going to survive any day of snowboarding.
Yeah, no, it was a good intro, I think. But I guess I wasn't like as young as a lot of people, but that was just my shit. Like I breathed, eat, and slept snowboarding. Like,
Yeah.
whatever I could get my hands on. It was like studying fucking movies, and I obviously had those neighbors of mine. I'd just see them. I was like, fuck, like I don't know what else I'm gonna do. And like I saw snow for the first time when I was like 7, so I was like, shit, I guess we could do something with this.
That's so
Instead
cool.
of just hiding out in the wintertime. But
Straight from the boat hideout to basically a cover, essentially.
Yeah, essentially.
I love that like no matter what. Like I'm like you got your horse blinders on, you got your tunnel vision, and you're like, all right, snowboarding, no plan B. No matter what, this is what I'm gonna do. And it's
Yeah.
so sick when you see that shit work out.
Did
Yeah, it's
the homie
crazy.
give you the $100?
fuck no.
He did.
No.
Maybe hit him with that Venmo
Yeah,
request
should we
right
Venmo
now.
request him?
Yeah, no, he's out of the picture. He's
We could
definitely
probably
out of the
track him
picture.
down.
Well,
Get that
actually,
Hunsky the hard way.
we could. break some kneecaps or something. I don't know.
So do you remember like getting into filming and all that? How that started to happen?
Yeah, man. That's kind of a crazy story too. But I was doing like little local contests and shit.
Yep.
And had done pretty well in a couple of them. And then dudes from Milo saw me, specifically Scotty Goodale.
Boom.
R.I.P.
R.I.P.
Fucking
What a G. Straight legend.
that's
Straight
the
legend.
homie right there. Him and dudes like Nick East and Chris Cooper. Shouts to them too. They kind of like recognized me and put me on Milo's team for the first time.
Yep.
And when you're young, snowboarding and shit, you like your friend has a camera, you just want to like copy what your idols are doing. So we were like hitting street spots and shit, and I had done this backside 50-50 on what was that, Kinked Rail and like West
Farmington?
Side. No,
Oh, West Side.
It was like by the community college.
The one
like
that Bittner
Eisenhower
front
or
board
something.
fake.
That's the
faking?
one.
Yeah. Eisenhower kink.
Yep.
So my
Yep.
homie had a
Eisenhower.
camera. We went there. My homie White Owl shot photos. Shouts
Yep.
to White Owl.
Shouts to White Owl.
Damn, son, where'd you find
We
this?
had like a puddle of snow. It was like a puddle of water. On the
like one ice tray scoop,
Yeah.
like a couple scoops of slushy snow down there.
serious. So I fucking laced that. I was super hyped,
Landed on
And then-
4 ice cubes.
straight up.
Yep.
Like no joke. And then I was like, damn, I kind of want to like start filming. How do I do this? And can't remember who told me, but they're like, yo, you got to go to the trade show. That's where like everybody is. You got to like go network and shit. So I hitched a ride to Vegas. I was like,
Oh, I forgot I was in Vegas.
like 15 or something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
back in the
16.
good days of Vegas trade shows.
Yeah, I actually hitched a ride with Bozone.
Ooh, nice.
Wow.
Nice.
Shouts to Bozone.
He was dating Tora Bright at the time.
That
Oh,
is
wow.
insane.
That was a long ass time ago.
I didn't know. I didn't even know that happened. That's
Yeah, neither did I.
insane.
Yeah, it was an insane
Power
time,
couple.
man.
Yeah, power couple
Let's
right
get
there.
those, let's get them back together. I
Get
don't know
them
what's
back
going
together.
on, but that
Do
would be
this, dude.
yeah.
Yeah, crazy. So, yeah, I went to Vegas, just like found someone's floor to sleep on. I can't remember even who it was. And I don't know who told me, but they're like, you need to find Cole Taylor. That's the dude you need to talk to, because I think I had made my decision. I wanted to film with Finger,
Sick.
So I had that camera with the back 50-50 on it, and I just like finagled my way into the trade show, like whatever. I didn't have credentials or anything, you know what I mean?
Nice.
And,
Incredible.
I just went like, it was probably so funny looking, dude. I was like this young kid, just like, do you know who Cole Taylor is? You know where I can find Cole
You
Taylor?
found the most aggressive dude in snowboarding and
Straight up.
scariest guy
Swollen.
to approach.
Yeah, someone was like, yeah, that's him right there. And just look, and it's this fucking pit bull of a human, just like, probably had a wife
In his
beater on and
element,
shit,
too.
like,
Yeah, just in his element.
Just looking
I
tough.
was like, God damn it, dude, what did I get myself into? But anyway, I had the camera on me, and I approached him, and the trade show, there's just mad people everywhere trying to, whatever, talk business. And I was like, hey, whatever, introduce myself. And I was like, I got this shot, and I want to film with you guys. Like, we give me a second just to see this. And I showed him, and he was like, shit, little man, like, yeah, let's give you a shot. So whatever, we exchanged contact info, and then told me to hit him up when I got back in town. And that's when I filmed my first part with Living Proof. And it was like after school and shit when I had time.
You had long hair, if I remember.
Yeah, I did have
Yeah,
long
you
hair.
backlip Trailside in that,
Yeah.
right? That,
Yeah.
Dude, we were tripping back east watching that backlip on Trailside.
Really?
Like,
Shit.
yeah. That
And the
was
first
so
time
sick.
you came out, we went to
That was
that
your
like,
checkout. Sorry to
It
interrupt.
was,
Sorry
yeah.
to interrupt. You
It
shoot
was
that?
my checkout.
I must have.
It
I
was,
just
it
feel
was
like
Nate. I think it was Nate Christensen.
Oh, that's possible. I don't know. My memory for that is
Yeah.
tough. I just know we had a lot of
I
lot of photos.
remember Casey Nelson. Shouts to Casey.
Shouts to
Nelly.
Casey.
Shouts to Nelly.
We
He's
went-
like the first motherfucker doing like nollie into shit. He was doing like, he did like a nollie tail press down that thing.
The
Dude,
first
just
sesh,
idle.
we went to that Bountiful kink with the cement on the bottom.
Oh yeah, dude.
I
It
remember-
was
the back fit
It was Hebel.
or the kink back
Yeah, it was
lip?
like Hebel.
It was
and-
Hebel and Cooley.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
And they weren't down with the fucking young blood on the scene.
Yeah, they're
Really? They were player hating.
They were hating.
well,
dude.
especially
Really?
someone with such talent. Just
Yeah.
those, like,
Well, because
how old are you? What's
they
going
wanted
on?
they wanted to set up like the ones above that weren't
As
big.
big.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Those kinks. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I
Sorry,
set that up, and Twos had a fit. J2 had a photo of like a switch 50-50 on that the one I front boarded.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember I set it up and I was like, fuck, I think I could front board this thing. And I remember Hebel and Cooley were like, man, fuck this. I'm not even going to watch this dude try this. Like, they didn't
And me
want.
and Cole were all like, let's do this.
Yeah, they
let's
didn't
do
want any
this.
part of it. They weren't even there when I did it.
Yeah, I don't
Like,
think so.
It was just me and a fucking drop in.
Yeah.
And you guys.
We were juiced,
that
and
was-
those guys faded out.
That was the first day, though. That was like my.
Yeah.
That was the day, you know.
And
Yep.
you did.
I did the front board, and then it was like, fuck, when we going to go next? Like,
Yeah.
And then that's
And
where it all
15,
started.
15 years old at this.
I think I was
15,
16.
16,
yeah.
okay.
Because I remember driving there. So
Just to bring it back for a second, you know what's so incredible is like a lot of people used to bring DVDs to the trade show, hand those out.
yeah,
Bringing a camera with the clip,
That's
so
true.
sick. Like, hold on, let me rewind it.
The
back this,
original clip.
like shitty LCD screen, like, and they're like, yeah, that's
Shit.
just incredible. in
well, I didn't
itself.
have any means to make like a sponsor me. Too.
Yeah, yeah.
And my mind wasn't even there. Like,
Yep.
I started snowboarding, and it was like I just loved to do it.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, I don't know. Like when I said I knew and I had my mind made up, that's what I wanted to do. It wasn't like, you know, there's like thirsty kids out there
Yeah.
that they snowboard and like that's
Yeah.
what they want, but in a not a so good way. Like,
Especially with the gram and everything else.
yeah,
Yeah,
no, I
nowadays,
didn't. I wasn't like that. I just like whatever.
Yeah.
I had to make something out of nothing.
Totally.
You know. So I
Yeah.
had the camera. I brought it. Fuck it.
Yeah.
It
Kids
worked out.
nowadays don't know anything about that because they're just like, put it on the gram. Oh, I'm going to get sponsored off of my gram. It's
know,
pretty
it's
sick.
Film it
to
with
think-
the phone.
Yeah, and
It
then
is.
it's just insane to think like, all right, film me back 50 this with this handy cam, and I'm gonna bring the camera itself to the trade show, and then I'm gonna get sponsored. Like, and were you riding when you did that front board proving grounds? Were you riding Tech 9 boards or?
No, I was actually sponsored by Salomon. That was my first.
Oh yeah,
was
Solomon.
Cooper,
Oh
Cooper
yeah,
got you on there. So,
yeah,
right?
Cooper and Nick East.
Yeah, Nick East.
Yeah,
those
are my
guys were
boys.
huge supporters.
Oh, they I gotta credit them as much as the Linuses and you and Cole. You know.
Yeah, they were. I
Those-
remember
that's the group.
those guys were pushing you, man. They were
Yeah.
hyped.
Yeah, Nick East and Cooper. Cooper's a fucking heavy hitter.
yeah,
Just
absolutely.
like a hustler. Like same with East.
Yep.
East lives in
Those guys are G's.
Nicaragua.
Yeah.
Just sold everything he owned and just moved.
The
Like-
good life. Were you so right after you got that first trick, where you proved everything? Were you just immersed with the crew right from then? Cole was hyped.
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone was hyped. But
Yeah.
I think it took a while for like other riders to like take
To the new kid.
a liking to me. But
Yeah.
A lot of times people feel threatened. They're
yeah,
like,
they
That's
did.
what it is. It
for
comes
sure.
back.
NKOB, new kid on the blocks
Yeah.
here.
But I don't know. I
New
didn't
kid with
give
some
a fuck.
talent too
Yeah.
and some style.
Swagger Rondak Mountain.
And
it's
when
called.
Cole starts giving
And-
you attention.
And
Yeah.
let's be real, the fits were just stupid sick. Like fat tall tee headband or like I love the fits, dude.
Yeah. And we
Yeah,
got
man.
that covered that year, right? It must have been that
Yeah,
season.
it was.
It was the
that
Minor
season.
Threat issue of Snowboarder Mag.
Who was that dude? Tyler? Who was in the old Tech 9 movies? Who's like
Oh,
Hebel's
yeah.
homie?
I forget his last
I
name.
think it was him and Ali like pulled me in.
Yeah, Ali was definitely there.
Like
Hand sling?
hand sling
Homie toe?
over a roof.
Yeah, it was a
gap.
roof cap.
Oh, is it that one? The photo behind you?
No, it was this. That's in Quebec. It's
Oh,
that
yeah.
school up kind of near where you live, over by
Yeah,
the
I
cove.
don't
Yep.
remember the name.
There's a
It's like
bunch
little
of jibs there.
Okay, yep.
Tons of jibs at that school.
So
jib.
did it
Jibs.
shouts to the word jib.
Yibbing.
Did it start kind of like popping for you after that part came out?
Yeah,
Living proof.
I think I think it did.
You notice any changes when that hit?
Yeah, no, for sure. I think when the video came out, it was like just tons of options at that
Yeah.
point. You know, like definitely got put on a different level at Salomon and
Yep.
Tech 9 put me on.
You're on the outerwear
Yeah, outerwear and bindings.
and bindings. Yep.
And whatever. I think I was on like Celtech and I don't remember who else. A lot of weird little sponsors that came and went, like
Came.
Osiris and shit.
Oh
at-
shit! True.
At one point.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think after that first video part, it was like it was on. you
Yeah.
know? It was like that's what I'm doing now.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't like pro yet.
Yeah.
But I just knew like it was coming.
Yeah.
This is what's up.
You're about to go on like a heavy run, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was
And next
ready,
year
you
we
know?
did Moment of Truth, and you got the cover, box
Oh,
cover.
That's my favorite. That's my favorite Tech 9 video ever made.
black hair.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just one
yeah,
with
that's
the
right.
dyed
And
hair black.
we gotta get we gotta get into
Dyed
this
your hair
video
black.
part because yeah, there is some beautiful moments in there.
I appreciate that.
Um,
Thank you.
First, I'd like to start with talking about the fits. some of the fits were like insane. You had like the B chain. It was like a Boston Red Sox Bennee chain.
Yeah.
The do-rag with the beanie over, and like, bro, I was back east and I was just trying to like copy, like trying to like find some shit to look dope and like not pulling it off at all. And he was pulling it off.
He was pulling it off. You look good out there,
Surprised to
dude.
hear that, man. I see it now and it's funny, but no, I just like wore what I like. It's the same to this day, but
Yeah.
like I don't know. I've idolized rappers and shit, so
Yeah.
I was like, fuck, I'm gonna wear a fucking do-rag, like
Yeah.
wear this big jersey and this chain. Like I didn't
So
give
sick.
no shame. I just whatever.
Yeah.
But, that chain, there's like a clip in there. I was like flossing it all
The lifestyle
crazy.
shot, right?
Yeah, I think it was kind of a joke, and then it showed up, and now it's just everyone.
I'll tell you what,
sees
I
it, but-
personally loved it, like just because it's the moment. It's the Mobb Deep song, right?
Is
Yeah.
it? Yeah.
Yeah, Mobb Deep, and like
Heavy Mobb Deep
the
track.
vibe is just incredible in that whole part. And then like in that part, you backlip of kink rail, which is at that time people weren't really doing, and you did it proper and put it up 90. And I remember watching the backlip, like we would rewind that, and that was
Shit,
got us
thank you.
hyped.
That was one of my favorite shots, I think. I've ever
Really?
got. Yeah.
Yeah,
Dope.
me as well. And then that's where the Bennee rail came from. We that's like
Ye
the
old
first
Bennee rail.
Which
the
one's
first
the
one
Bennee
you
rail?
did. So we used to call, for the listeners that don't know, like down flat rails that close out, like closeout
the
rails.
closeouts are
He
Bennee
was, he was
rails.
the original closeout guy, and the first one you did was like the gnarliest one ever.
Was
That
that,
one
the
was
one where
psycho.
you cracked dome?
No, that was
Oh,
the
the
next
one
year.
in like Idaho or something?
Yeah, it was in Pocatello.
Pocatello, that's
yeah,
right.
Nick
that one was
East showed
insane.
me all these spots.
Wasn't
actually.
Bozung with us on that trip?
He was.
He was.
That was like right when he
He
signed.
jibbed
to
some
Tech Nine.
stump right near there. And
Yeah.
you
Oh,
did
I know
that
those
crazy
shots.
Closeout.
Classic stump jam.
Yeah, that was
Little
fucked
trip
up,
to
man.
Pocatello. No one's
how
ever hit
scared?
that rail.
How scared were you going into that thing?
I don't know, dude. I had like the fucking eye of the tiger.
I
you know
think
what
I
mean?
was
Yeah.
scared just watching
We've
that
all
go
felt
down.
it. You know, it was just like I didn't think of. I just knew I was gonna do it. You know? It was one of those things.
Yep.
But you couldn't pay me like $1 trillion to fucking do that right now.
I don't think a lot of people would do that. I mean,
Yeah.
it's never been done again, has it?
No,
anyone done
no one's
that?
fucked with that.
Yeah.
No.
And because it's a mandatory make, you can't
you
come off
can't.
early on the outside
Nope.
or on the inside. It's
and
a do
you
or
gotta
die.
clear like this crazy sidewalk
Yep.
too. I remember
yeah,
like
there's no room for error
Yeah.
on that thing.
It-
Yeah, I think it took like 3 tries. I came
Mhm.
off kind of like to the side a couple times and then sent it. But yeah, I don't.
yeah, I
don't know
remember
what the
getting a
fuck.
really dope sequence of that.
Shit, I must have had some good weed then.
Well, you know what I also think happens, like when I've been in it personally, where you're doing stuff that you're like, damn, I didn't even know I could do that. There's like a snowball of confidence is what I call it. It's like you get rolling, you get a couple clips, you get some good ones, you get like a really good one, and you get another really good one. All of a sudden, you're like, there's nothing I can't do. I'm rolling right now, you know?
Yeah, no,
and you
you
just build on it.
You figure out your gauge, you know.
Yeah,
It's like-
exactly.
And Cole was really good at queuing up hammers.
Queuing, is that the word you're using? Queuing.
Queuing.
I'm just
Queuing.
like-
He's good at getting people to try shit
Get
they don't want to
people-
try.
Or he would find them and then
Yeah.
find a fit for them and then get
Yeah.
you psyched to get it
Yeah.
done.
I don't-
Yo, I know you
Props
got
to
this,
Cole.
Doug. Yeah, shouts
Dog.
to Cole.
Cole
What a G.
fucking is the man.
Yep.
Shit, I wouldn't be where I'm at if it wasn't for Cole or you, Stone.
Thank you. I appreciate
you guys
that, man.
both gave me my start, like
Fuck.
all the way.
You gave us some inspiration too, man. You were just
Thank you.
killing this.
Shit, yeah.
So
Cole,
dope.
Cole had a way of, bringing the best out of kids.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
always.
Like, you and Cole, man, you guys.
We kind of play that good cop, bad cop.
Yeah, it's funny. You kind of do. But no, like there should be more. There should be more said about like what you and Cole did for a lot of kids. You know
Dude,
what I
that's
mean?
awesome
Like,
to hear. Thank you,
you
man.
find them young, and you see something in them.
Yeah, Cole was so good
Talent
at,
scout.
at
Yeah.
giving that kid a chance, like giving you a
No.
chance to be like, let's do this.
Yeah, it's cool.
Takes a
man.
certain eye to know who to pick, too.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
to be the
not-
right fit for FODT. And
Yep.
I mean, it's like you guys grabbed Bittner, and he went on to do Mac Dog, and like
Yeah.
it was just so many. The list goes on forever. But
Daryl Matt. Yeah, there's
Yeah.
so many people.
Yeah. So many people got their start at Finger.
Those were
Tech
good
Nine.
times.
Yeah, the best.
You were with us for how many movies?
I think the last one I had, I did was, I had like a couple shots in One Love.
Yep.
One
was
Love,
it.
okay.
Yep.
Which one did we go to Russia?
That was, I think, the first year I filmed with Kids Know. Or am I? could be
Oh, so
wrong.
that was
No.
in. We were actually. So I'm getting ahead of myself.
No,
That
I think
wasn't in
Russia's
FODT.
Russia's
'Cause
after
Cole
that. Actually,
filmed
Yeah.
with kids now.
so yeah, it went Tech 9, and then he went to Kids Know.
Yep.
And that's when he did the Montreal trip with Mikey and 91 Words for Snow.
Yeah.
And
That's when we got that cover.
Yep. Yeah.
that looked like an insane year, but that trip specifically to you guys' trip to Quebec
Oh
looked
man,
mental.
just any time spent with Mikey
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
the fucking best, man.
And they had you guys mic'd up for 91 Words for Snow,
Yeah.
and it was just
Oh man, I know.
insane.
That was fun. I remember David Benedict coming to my house. I was like,
Wasn't
holy
Jake Price our
fuck.
filmer?
Yeah,
Yeah, Jake
Shouts
Price.
to Jake Price.
Dude, such a G, and
Yeah,
he
it
came
was
to Quebec.
so weird. It was so surreal. I was like this young little gangster little kid, David Benedict's just knocking on my door and like coming in my little studio room. That was the first like I moved out of my dad's place when I was like 17.
Yep.
Moved in with my brother, and I moved into a room with no windows. It was fucked up.
Insane.
But I slept
Little
next
prison?
to my it was a little prison. I slept next to my turntables and a little beat machine, and that's where we did that little interview. It was just crazy. David Benedict sitting across the
Yeah.
table like the dude's a fucking legend.
Yeah.
In your room with no windows. in
Yeah,
your
it was like
turntable.
this ghetto little setup. It was cool though.
Yeah, you explained the Quebec like street riding scene really well in that, and I love when you and Mikey are in the hotel and he's wearing your like fatty
Oh,
red
yeah.
tall tee, and you're running like the little baby shirt.
Fuck,
So
man,
good.
we had so many good times.
LeBlanc
man.
was so funny, dude, and
God
on the
damn.
road, huh?
Yeah, it'd be like that was like a yoga retreat. You came home with like a fucking 12-pack just
For
for laughing
laughing.
and shit, dude.
You could just look at Mikey's face and you're just like, Jesus, that is you look insane right now.
Yeah, he just like turns on these different characters.
Yeah,
you
his
know what I mean? Like his
characters.
characters, Mike Stryker was one of them.
Yeah, Mike Stryker.
Oh my god. Yeah, those are the best.
And he just
trips.
animates when he puts on the characters, and
Oh,
his voice
man.
changes, and
He's the funniest motherfucker.
And
I
you can't
know,
even
like,
talk.
Absolutely.
without a doubt. you
Yeah.
know? But then you see him other times, and he's like so cool.
Yeah.
Like
mellow, serious.
yeah, he's always cool. But you know what I mean? Like I've introduced him to people, and they're like, "That's the dude you said is like the funniest motherfucker
Yeah,
ever."
you would never. A lot of people have no idea, right?
Totally.
Trust me though, he is.
You can also
Yeah.
like go meditate, sit on a concrete floor for like 7 hours and just like say nothing.
Yeah, that dude's got a lot of power, man. He's
Yeah.
just really amazing dude for sure.
Well, we got to get into on that Quebec trip filming for Burning Bridges the
Oh,
the
Oh,
the
rail.
oh shit.
the
Oh,
Cab
no.
2. I mean, let's
The
talk about
Cab
it.
2 heard and seen all around the world still to this day. I saw it posted maybe this season, last
Shit.
season, Torment, maybe.
Well, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Well, it was at the what was that? The
Battlefield.
Battlefield. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mikey was there then too.
Yeah, Mikey jumped off the top of the thing, right?
Daryl was there.
Yep.
Yeah, it was it was the first Cab 270 I'd ever done.
I was there.
on a handrail.
Okay.
I just kind of like fucking started the session, and it's like, I'll do a little half cab tail press, and then it just kind of evolved, and I was like, fuck. I should
Cab
just
2 fakie.
Cab 2 to fakie,
Yeah.
and then to regs. But I don't know. It
You
just
basically
seemed-
laid the paperwork for how that trick needs to be done.
I didn't try to.
Yeah.
It's just
That's crazy.
You
Was
know?
your first one.
Yeah, but the like the whole feel of that, like we were as a squad back east, like rewinding the Cab 2, watching the Cab 2. People weren't doing Cab 2s like that. They weren't putting it up, putting it in 90, and just like the landing was just like so like borderline cocky. Just like, you know what I'm saying? That where we were like, okay, we got to figure out how do we look like that? How do we? First of all, I'm going to Walmart and I'm buying a red tall tee. And I'm going to put a white tall tee underneath it, and I'm going to go learn Cab 2s tomorrow, okay?
I thought I was wearing a gray hoodie.
Maybe you were, but
I think it was a gray
the-
hoodie.
You
but,
were.
but you were rocking
Nah,
that
yeah.
and other clips.
Yeah, the red tall tee was in rotation on that
Yeah.
trip. Though.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, fuck, it just came together. I didn't ever expect it to be like this trick to be remembered, you know, but it's really cool that people to this day talk about it, you know. It's like, I actually learned that trick watching Bows Nuts do them at the
Oh, yes.
fucking, like, preseason on Little Rails. I just remember, like, wasn't even strapped in. I was just, like, eyeballing him.
Just watching
doing them. I
him.
was like, holy shit, he does them different and better than anyone, you know?
Yep.
And that's where I, like, that was in my head when I was doing it. You know, just
Take
watching
it to
him.
the streets.
I just thought like do it step by step. Like I think with any trick, like
Yep.
don't try to just force it all at once. Like do the ollie first and then whatever, step by step. But
Step by step.
yeah. Oh shit,
Pop,
it's crazy. Pop
then spin,
and spin.
and spin a little bit more, put it on, swag it out.
Yeah, man. I need to do another one of those. One day.
Swaggy D and the boys, dude.
Swaggy
D.
Swaggy D. And well, the good thing is we have, I'm looking at my thing here. We got 27 hours of recording time. So maybe 26 of them we could be talking about the cab too.
For 26 hours straight.
For sure.
Change our catheters and our urine bags at hour 20.
I got a round of urine bags for the boys, and we're not moving
We're
for
not
a
moving.
while.
We're going to talk this out, boys.
I got a colostomy bag. I'm good. Chilling.
You know, this is a bold claim, but, you know, some people might crucify me for this, but I'm just going to say it. You got, you know, you got Ingmar's method for the street dogs. You got Benny's cab too.
Dude.
Is that out of line to say? Is that
I
out of
don't
line?
think you're
Is
out
that
of
a
line
stretch?
saying
I
that,
think some
man.
people would agree. That's just me. I don't know.
Damn.
I was on a trip
I'm honored. Thank
maybe
you.
2 years ago, and I think it was maybe with Stark. I don't know. Props to Stark.
Shouts to
And
Stark.
I pulled out that clip, that sequence, and showed it to him. I was still on my computer. I carried my whole catalog, and people on the trip were
insane.
just tripping. Just
Yeah.
like, what? You have this on your computer?
Shit.
Just frame by frame. And then I think they recorded it off the movie, and he put it online or something.
Oh, that's where that came from.
Yeah, it might have been him. I think it was him. I don't know. Somebody.
Yeah.
But, yeah, people are still just like, what?
That's crazy, man. Yeah, I didn't ever expect that to happen.
It's like
you know?
46 years ago, I think.
Yeah, 46, 7.
47 maybe, yeah.
We were young in the streets of Canada, just hyped. And LeBlanc jumped off the top of the fucking battle
Oh, yeah. He was
monument.
flying off all kinds of
Daryl
stuff.
Mathis was there,
Yeah,
pretty sure.
solid crew.
And then you know, you hit him with that part had the famous that one. You know,
potion.
still got to slap that one when I'm driving around in the GMC.
Yeah.
So how'd that work? You did 91 words for Snow and Kids Know, same season?
Yeah, they were like pretty willing to work with each other.
Yeah, that's dope.
And I think there's like a lot of similar shots in both movies, but
They were just different, so it worked.
yeah, I mean they were like cool to work with each other, so it worked out. It was a fucking honor to be part of 91 Words for
Yeah,
Snow. Like,
yeah, that's
insane
heavy,
swag.
man.
to this day, I'm just like, I don't know how I managed to fit in there.
And then shortly after that, to keep things moving, I remember in that same time period, you kind of switched over to film for Absinthe, and
Yeah,
I remember the car toes were hitting. That's kind of what I want. That's when the gap started hitting.
Dude, the pivot car toes and ropes.
Wrap it
flying
around the
everywhere.
pole, ropes. Yeah.
It's a dangerous time in the streets right there, boys.
yeah, man, that's some close calls.
Dangerous time in the streets.
We didn't have winches or bungees, you know,
Yeah.
so we had to do it.
It's actually probably better times.
Shit was progressing, and it's like, fuck, we can't use a drop-in ramp. We need more speed. Like, oh shit, just tie a rope to the back of this truck and gun it.
Yeah, I wonder who the first person to throw that out was.
I think fucking
Charlebois?
honestly,
Marco?
I heard back. Well, let's see. So, I saw Breezy's sponsor me tape.
Oh.
Years ago, like before he
Breeze
had any
Dogger.
sponsors, and he was doing car toes like way back.
That
then.
sounds about right.
Damn.
So
we got to get to the bottom
we
of
need to
the.
get to the
We got to
bottom
go
of the
CSI
cartel.
Miami. I might hire a
CSI
little
Miami.
private investigator to get to the bottom of
Yeah,
this.
he
CSI
might-
my hammy.
Exactly. Exactly.
He might be it, but yeah, those
Makes
are
a
the
lot of sense.
car toe days. That was tight. We were like, that was when like MFM was filming with us and shit, and that
Dude,
dude was like my fucking idol. Growing
Yeah, let's
up,
talk
you know what I
idols.
mean?
Who were the idols?
Shit, the Linuses, MFM. You know, pretty much the whole
such a G.
Forum 8. I really liked. There was this old sled movie. It was like a snowmobile and snowboard movie called Seven. Fuck, I always forget the name. But Cale Stevens had the most insane fucking.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Most insane shit.
Yeah, Kel Stevens was dope.
He was just boosting off like big ass wind lips, going like 100 miles an hour, and he's just a G. Like
He's a
Yeah.
G.
he's just a dope ass dude.
Yes.
Who else, man? Yeah, I mean, that's it.
What was it like when
Mikey.
all of a sudden you're shooting with Mikey and MFM and
It was crazy, man. I didn't even
Were you
know what to think.
intimidated, or you just did your thing?
Yeah, I mean, part of me was definitely intimidated, but it was just like they were cool as fuck.
Yeah.
Like, there was no need to be intimidated.
Yeah.
And they were all like treated me like the young kid, you know? So it was like they were helping me out any chance they got, you know?
Sharing that knowledge is so important.
Yeah, and it's like, I don't know, in life you got to just kind of like take the bull by the horns sometimes, you know? So it was like, I'm in this position and fucking just got to do this. So
Yeah.
it wasn't like, there's part of me that was like nervous and shit to be around them, but it was more just like I felt like I was learning, you know, being able to see it firsthand and like just
Learning from the bosses.
analyze their shit in person.
Yeah.
It was cool.
It's like you almost learn it by osmosis just from being around them.
yeah,
Mhm.
no,
Just
for
pick
sure.
up on how they do it. And
Yeah.
Marco seems like one of the most confident dudes. Just like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna do this. FT,
Oh.
boom, done.
Yeah, he is just insane. Watching that dude ride, as opposed like seeing him in videos is insane, but seeing it in person is fucking insane.
Yeah, Day at the Bird with Marco.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it. The
Yeah.
bird, like you've never seen anyone
High
pop
speed
like that.
Rizal. He used to
holy
just throw the
shit.
biggest ollies and nollies off of, and
Yeah, we had a lot of fun, man. We'd like tour for Absinthe premieres and shit.
Oh,
on
I
the
heard
tour
those
bus.
premiere tours are.
oh, you hit
psycho.
those tours back in the day. when they
Yeah,
were doing this.
Me and Marco would bring our beat machines on the bus.
Yeah.
And he had like this big ass Mackie speakers and shit in there, so we just like be making beats on the road the whole time. It was fucking the best, man. It was
Yeah.
cool.
Hitting up all those dope cities, partying
Yeah.
till dawn.
I remember one time
Rock star.
he hit this like little road gap thing in Denver. You might have been there. When
Back-
he was dating. He was dating that like WWE
Oh, the
chick.
WWE chick, the Martinez. What were they? The twin? I don't remember what their names were.
I can't remember.
I just
her
saw a
name.
video. She's like married to John and Cena or whatever. What's the
John
guy?
Cena?
John
John
Cena.
Cena. Yeah.
Damn,
They have like
Yeah.
a kid together.
it's insane.
Yeah,
Okay.
Marco would bring her on trips, and
Yeah.
I remember we're like shoveling this spot out, and she was just there, like kind of pick up a shovel every now and then. But he's like, "Yo, dog, you hungry? Homegirl's gonna get some burritos. You want some burritos, dog?" I was like, "Yeah." She'd bring us burritos to the spot. Yeah, shouts to her, whatever your name is, but
Shout out to John Cena's wife.
John Cena.
It might even be her twin sister, but it's
No,
one
yeah,
of them.
they're
They're
twins.
twins. Yeah, there's twins, and they're in the wrestling world, and they're big. They're huge.
Crazy.
They're like top
the
notch.
ones.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was cool, man. Traveling with the idols. I don't know what I thought. I think I was just on like a different level of life. Just so grateful, you know. Like it happened, you know. It was like all those thoughts of like I'm gonna make this shit
Yep.
happen, and then you're there. You're like, fuck. I guess here I am.
I got a seat at the table. Holy
Yeah.
shit.
Now I
Yeah.
got to do something with it. What's crazy about you too is you never did any contests,
Well,
or
Yeah.
maybe some street jams, right?
I did like little contests when I was young.
Yeah.
Just to kind of like get my name known.
Get your
but
name out.
Yeah.
But your pro advancement is really straight video part
Yeah,
direction.
I was against them, man. I had like Salomon and a few other sponsors that like tried to put in my contract, like you have to do contests. Like,
Oh, they did.
oh yeah. I just straight up was like, nah,
Not my thing.
not doing it. So
I remember
fire me
Salomon
if you
had your
want.
back on those covers too, photo incentive wise.
they
How
did.
many covers have you had? Do you even
I had 4 with
snowboarder?
Snowboarder.
3 with me, 1 with Bob
Wow.
Plum.
Yeah.
Bob Plum.
Those
the
are some
truck
heavy
ollie.
numbers.
Yeah. Dude, 3. We had like 3 in a year maybe, and
Yeah,
it
it
was
was kind
insane.
of seemed like back to back for sure.
Yeah,
Also-
Muzzy had our back heavy and loved
Muzzy,
your style.
Shouts to Muzzy. I
You-
love that motherfucker.
You remember that board?
I do. That was
'Cause
like
that
my
don't-
first one.
That was there's your board, Doman.
Oh, crazy.
Doman
I didn't
do
even
the
see that
graphic?
up there.
What's
Yeah.
on the base of that one?
It's like some kind of taggy.
Because you had that board with the
Oh,
shiv.
that was one of Dave
That
Steer's
one was
original
sick.
boards, aside from Tech 9, I think, pretty
Yeah.
much.
Yeah, I remember Doman was living in Seattle. I went out there to kind of work on some graphics with him, but
Did he do
Yeah,
all your
my-
boards?
he did all my boards. Yeah, my favorite though was the Shank board.
The shank. That's
Yeah.
the
Nitro
shiv. I
shank.
said that one
I
was,
was
my
gonna bring
favorite.
it, but I like the one I have's all fucked up, so it like, wouldn't have.
Dude, I love
looked
that
very
art.
good, but yeah, that was a fuck. Dave's just a powerhouse.
The
He- I
best
thi- I
dude.
think-
The best.
Oh, the best. I
Dave
think he like
Bowman.
loved making graphics with me, but also probably hated it because I'd come with just like the most fucking weird shit. Like, I want you to do like a detailed pencil drawing of shanks, like a lot of work, and I did, like,
Yeah.
didn't like I don't know, probably I feel like an asshole. I probably didn't understand how much work
Yeah.
it took, but he always did it.
Yeah,
and
he
I
always comes through with your
crushed
vision.
it.
If you have the vision, man, he's putting that out on paper. That's so sick. And what stage did you get involved with Nike? Because that was a big part of your sponsored life, right?
Yeah, for sure. I think I was with Nike for like 7 years.
7.
Yeah.
Damn, that was crazy when they came on the scene.
So it was kind of a weird point, man, because I think I had just gotten fired from DC because I actually wore a pair of Nikes to the mountain lab.
Classic.
They didn't like that.
Yeah.
But
You got straight fired.
I got canned. But Bots, the dude that was the team manager, Bots.
Hold on, I got to hit you with a quick
You're
one.
fired.
Okay, continue.
Yep, that's me. He was sending me like girl shoes and shit.
Bots was.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck do you want me to do with these? So I wore Nikes. Like, fuck him. But anyway,
I would have straight sold those on the streets, dog.
I probably did. Sold a lot of things on the streets. But
We'll get to that.
we can get to that. I remember Bobby Meeks calling me, and I had
Meeks.
never even met Meeks before. Shouts to Bobby. He's like
Props to Meeks.
fucking
Dope ass back five.
Yeah. One of my old roommates.
Bobby did so much for me, man. Like the dude pulled. For
He's
me,
kind of
but
the one at Nike that eyed you up. And
He's the one.
Yeah, he's
if
the
it
one.
wasn't for him, I would have never been on Nike. But he called me. I don't know how he even got my number, but he's like, "Hey, I'm Bobby. Like,
I probably gave it to him.
working both sides."
Just whatever. If the kid's gonna get some money, fuck.
Fuck, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Because I remember right, it was like a substantial, nice check move up.
Well, yeah. Well, yeah. So he called me and he's like, "Yeah, I'm working for Nike now, and we're gonna start a snowboard program, and you're kind of the fit we're looking for. So just want to know moving forward if I can like count on you to be involved." And I was like, I'll quit every one of my sponsors to be on
for
Nike,
Nike.
You know, like I was already a fucking Nike like sneakerhead, you know. So I was like,
Dream sponsor.
fucking dream situation. But that was the same time that you and Section were working a deal with me. I think you had like contracts written up and everything. And, I had an agent, Ninja, at the time.
Oh, that's right, Ninja.
And he was like, yeah, shouts to Ninja.
That's an inch.
And he was like, they're not going to sign you if you just do boots. You got to do outerwear and boots. So I was like, fuck.
Yeah, they wanted the kits.
Yeah, you got to be like more than just one
Head to toe.
thing, you know? So I was like, fuck. Well, I'm kind of got this Section deal like underway. Anyway, long story short, I had to like call you and Cole and be like,
This is what's up.
I think
I probably
gotta
was
take
like
this route. You know?
Mello and Cole probably gave you some jabs, but
Cole was pissed
Yeah.
at first.
yeah, at
But
first.
I get it, you know, like
Yeah.
you just put a lot of fucking effort into figuring shit out, you know. But at the end of the day, like you were cool with it. I remember the conversation with Cole, and he was like, "Man, I'm so happy for you. Like that, this is the right move for you. You know what I mean?
it's
Like I'm not
huge.
mad.
It's a
I
once
was
in a
just like,
lifetime,
huge.
life-changing
Yeah.
opportunity.
Yeah, it was funny. I remember when I first signed with Nike, there was like all these rumors going around that I was making like that I signed a $1 million contract. I just
Million?
rolled with it. I was like, yeah, dog, fucking.
Should we talk? Can we talk cheddar
Yeah, can
biscuits?
we talk cheddar
Is that
biscuits,
kinda-
like amounts, like
I mean-
what the monthly? I mean, because it's just a different
you-
era right now.
You guys flew around first class, from what I understand, right? Didn't they buy
Yeah,
first class tickets
The
and all that?
first couple years riding with them, any flight was first class.
every flight,
Yeah.
you're up in
Lay
there.
was
back,
just like-
lay flat seats to Europe.
You're basically
Boom.
flying the plane. You're so far in
Oh
the
yeah,
front.
so much.
Out like a light half a zan on a
so-
13-hour flight.
That's
so
what's
many
up.
shoes too. Fuck. I remember I came home one day to 25 pairs of Air Force Ones on my doorstep.
Some rapper shit.
All the like luxury ones, all
Yeah.
like leather interior and shit. But
You're my neighbor at that point.
yeah,
But
These
we had-
deals
we had
don't really
crib-
exist like they did back then, so
Yeah,
it's
no,
sick to talk about
That's
them.
what I hear. I don't.
Yeah.
I'm kind of out of the game now, but yeah, they were paying pretty good for sure. And bought a house when I was 19.
Woo! What are we
Which is
talking? $3,000 a month,
couple
$4,000
grand.
a
Oh,
month?
he's pressing. He's pressing. That's for personal shit.
You don't got to tell us, but it's just interesting because right now, man, kids are happy if they get $500. That's
that
like
how
a
it
big
is now?
deal. That's dude. From a,
I mean, I don't want to. You don't got to say names and shit, but that's
Yeah.
really how it is now.
yeah, that's
Kids
it's-
are starving. For
So
sure.
I made the right move.
yeah, kids are starving in
I-
these streets.
Dude, the Nike shit, from my perspective, was crazy because we were filming for Videograss and stuff at that time, which I feel like we had some insane trips. We had some good times.
Oh, the best.
But I remember specifically they gave you guys business cards. And I remember
yeah. I still have 'em.
it had his stance. It was like Nike professional snowboarder, and then
Oh,
we
the
would
stance.
And tell
Yeah, I had
them
the
how
angles and
when
shit.
we would get kicked out, it was like,
Oh, that came in handy.
You would
was
show
insane.
that
It was
card.
funny. The card, it didn't say professional snowboarder. It just said professional. It was dope. It was dope.
Well,
But yeah,
you,
we get
you were
booted.
doing more than just snowboarding for them, right?
Yeah, actually, I designed a lot of their outerwear. I kind of designed some stuff with Cole when I was younger for Tech 9, just kind of help on the back end
Yeah.
with ideas and shit. And then, yeah, I ended up designing a lot of shit for them.
That's so sick.
Mainly,
you were
mainly
immersed.
outerwear.
Yeah.
But it's like I'm pretty passionate about fashion and design. I don't have like the know-how on the computer, but like I got the vision for it.
But
so.
Meeks would sit you down and
Yeah, it was more the designers.
The designers, straight
yeah,
up.
like Meeks. Once you're on board there, you meet people and you're plugged in, so you know who to talk to. But I just came prepared. It wasn't like it was given like an opportunity, like we want you to do this. It was just
Yeah.
like, oh shit, I'm with Nike. Well, I got ideas, and so I'd make binders. I'd have like 20 pages of fucking fabric swatches and colorways and fucking
you
drawings.
see them
and-
used come to fruition as well.
yeah, and so I'd do them up. I would do them up, dude. I'd like laminate them and shit and like present them, and they're like, holy shit.
They were down.
Okay, yeah. So like a lot of them, actually Jordan picked up one of my designs and like ran with it, and it was like
Michael Jordan.
Michael.
Or the Jordan brand.
Well, I had to film this I had to film this video of myself speaking to the camera on like who Michael Jordan means to me, what he means to me.
Wow.
Which growing up, he was like a pretty big role model to me.
Yeah.
Not
Sure.
only was like a Jordan sneakerhead, but like idolized the dude when I was younger. So I just had to say some shit, like I'm talking to Michael Jordan, and they actually showed him the video of me
Damn.
talking, because the angle was they were going to start a Jordan snowboard line.
Wow.
I was supposed to be the face of that. I remember when Nike first came out, it was like, who was it, like LibTech made these fucking like banana swoosh stickers trying to like sabotage them and shit.
Yeah.
Like, you can hate on them being corporate and like a big ass company, but like I thought they were doing it right.
Yeah.
You know? It wasn't like, I get it, like keep snowboarding core, but like, I don't know.
Also, if you're paying for somebody to like make a living their dream through snowboarding, there's downsides to it, but like it's pretty amazing. You know, you're able to buy a house. They supported a real ass snowboarder. Like there's something to be said for that. You know, you don't need to be so salty about it.
Yeah, that's
everything.
giving back
Yeah.
to the snowboard community. I mean, that's core,
Absolutely.
really. It's as good as it gets.
Yeah, no, and I know a lot of like other brands who treat their riders like dog shit.
Yeah,
You know what
exactly.
I mean? So
Yeah.
Yeah.
like, fuck that. Like,
Yeah.
take the money. That's like one
Take
good,
the money, kids. Take the money.
Take that money.
That's a big. I think the best advice I ever got. I'm not going to lay out a specific quote, but Mikey LeBlanc gave me my best advice growing up in snowboarding. He's the one that told me to buy a house.
Yep.
I was like making all this money, and we were really close. He lived like a few blocks up the road, and him and me and J2 were like best fucking friends. J2 and I. So I was there every day. What up, Twos? Just knocking shit off the counter.
He's with us, my friend.
Yeah.
You bring up twos, shit
Dude.
falls
Shit
off.
starts
He's
moving.
cruising,
That's
bro.
a sign, boys.
That's what's up.
Shout to twos.
Yeah, but Mikey just kind of like put my head on straight. He's like, you should buy a house. Don't buy a fucking car or some
Yeah,
dumb shit.
don't buy some
Like,
stupid shit. Let's do
Yeah,
this.
so I did. Was able to do that when I was 19. I think it was super fortunate. and
Dude, 19, that's young.
It was intimidating for
Yeah.
sure.
Your first,
Sorry
your crazy meetings with, not to change from the house, but your meetings,
Oh, fuck the house.
they were all corporate, crazy, intense, but yet your first one, you're on mushrooms?
Yeah, so
Most people
So-
would be stressed out of their mind.
I've heard some stuff about this one.
yeah, I think it's made its rounds for sure. But yeah, it was like one of the first, like they had just put the team together. It was like the whole squad. And
First meeting together.
yeah, like the first time they flew everyone out, they got all the designs they wanted to present everybody. You know, they were gonna have meetings with the big wigs, and they were gonna present us Nike snowboarding. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it wasn't even a thing yet. The boots weren't like made yet. It was all brand new.
Coming to fruition.
Yeah, so they fly us to Portland. We have like whatever, a big dinner and shit, and then they give us all these like itineraries. I'm not really like an itinerary kind of guy, so I was like, I'll figure it out as we go. I should have looked at the itinerary, but I didn't. All right, so I thought the following day we were gonna be driving a bus to Mount Hood to do some like product testing on a boot that just got made, and I was injured, so I was like, "Fuck, well, I don't really have to. I'm not gonna snowboard. I can pretty much do whatever I want tonight." So, sorry, Hadar, but it was me and Hadar. Love you.
Put her on blast.
Yeah, we went to meet up with Shelby. Shouts to Shelby.
Shouts to
Props.
Shelby.
He actually used to call me Big Shirt back in the day.
Big shirt.
Anyway, so we went out, chilled with him, and he's like, "Oh, I got some mushrooms." So I was like, "Fuck yeah, I love mushrooms." And we ended up taking a copious amount of mushrooms.
Copious.
Took a hike. We went to this really dope hike, actually. It was like in Portland. I haven't been there since, but it's like a fucking rainforest in the middle of the town. Like, I don't know where it came from.
Or if it really
or
exists.
if it even happened. But
Or it was just my backyard. And I was hallucinating.
Might have been the hotel courtyard.
yeah. No, but we went on this dope hike, and we're out all night, like all night till the wee hours. And it was like 6 a.m. We're like, fuck, we got to go back to the hotel. It's time, you know? So we start walking, grab our shit at his house, and I was like, you got any more of those mushrooms? And he did. And it was like the bottom of the bag, like the dust.
Boom dust.
Yeah, it'll fuck you up.
That's that potent shit.
So I just like dumped all of them into my mouth, took them all. It was like 7 a.m. Just dosed again. And we walked back to the hotel thinking like, fuck, I'll just like grab my bag and just sit in the bus and like have a fun little drive. And I remember Barrett Christie. I love Barrett Christie.
Yeah,
She's
Barrett's dope.
the shit. But she was in the lobby along with like everyone else. They had like notepads and fucking all their shit ready.
Laptops and
Ready to
Yeah.
handle business.
just
And I'm-
straight corporate meetings about to
Yeah.
happen.
Everyone's all nervous, and there's
And
Bennee.
I waltz in, hadn't slept at all, and the mushrooms are like just hitting me again. I had like full blown shark eyes, like full black, you know.
All pupil, no
Dinner
blue.
plate.
And I'm like all stressed out. I don't see anyone with gear or anything. So I was like, what the fuck's going on?
At least you weren't in your gear.
Yeah.
Or I guess you were injured.
Yeah, but it was a bad look. But I walked up to Barrett and I was like, what's going on? Like, she's like, you tell me. what the fuck's really
Could
going
she
on?
tell what was up?
Oh, yeah. She's like, what did you do? What's up with your eyes? I was like, oh. Because they were like, you know. people
Yeah.
on
Yeah, you
mushrooms,
can tell.
They're
You can
big.
tell.
Fucking
You can get that vibe.
blown out. So I was like, Barrett, we did a bunch of mushrooms last night, and I just took more, like 30 minutes ago. And she's like, oh my God, well, get your shit, because we have meetings all day. Like the big deal meetings. So I'm like, well, there goes my whole life. Like, I'm going to get fired, and it's just awesome. So anyway, I grabbed all my shit. Luckily, I had like those designs I talked about.
You were prepared.
I was like, fuck it. Like,
He was probably vibing on the
Yeah.
designs.
no, I was, dude. So we get there, and like, I could tell. I mean, everyone was looking at me sideways. You know, they knew. They like, who's
Well,
this?
it's always in
fucking-
your head, too. You think they know, even if they don't
Yeah,
know.
and,
And
like,
they
Hadar-
probably know.
Hadar got away with it. She wore fucking sunglasses and like
Pro
slept.
tip. That's
Pro
a pro tip.
Yeah, I didn't have my glasses, so I was fucked. But anyway, they had like brought in all these dudes from like ACG to do
Yep, I
do
remember.
all the first designs for the outerwear, and it was trash.
Ooh.
It was all trash. And like the Nike snowboarding crew, like Bobby and all them, like all the dudes, like they knew it was trash, but they couldn't make the changes. Like it had to come from someone like me
Yeah.
or a rider to be like, no,
This
man.
ain't it.
But they didn't tell anyone that either. So it was just like, all right, we're gonna
They're just
sit you
hoping
down
someone.
with these dudes, and you got to give them your feedback.
Yeah.
And like I had been doing that, like designing shit and like helping people with shit, so it wasn't like awkward or uncomfortable for me. So we're in this like big boardroom and being presented all this shit, and I'm fucked up on mushrooms. I'm like, shit. Well, I know it has to be done, and I just like laid it out, like just crushed it. I ran that meeting, dude. I like in a nice way.
Yeah.
Was like, none of this shit's cool, man. Like,
You told them in the nicest way possible.
Yeah,
Let them know.
It looked like ski outerwear. It was like all just too.
Everyone's thinking it. You
Form
said
fit shit. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I laid my binder out, and none of that shit worked out for them.
Damn.
None of their designs made it, and anyway, it was like literally a full fucking day of meetings. Like, not good. And anyway, long story short, I did what needed to be done, and the next day Bobby's like pissed. He's pissed because he's the one that vouched for me. You know? And then here I am on mushrooms in the fucking campus.
Yeah.
But that was the next day that we actually went to Mount Hood, and he went up the lift with me, just me and him. He's like, "We got to talk, man." And he's like, "You fucked up. You fucked up, man." He's like,
taking a knee.
You know, you can't do that kind of shit, man. And I was like, I know, but he's like, but I can't be mad at you because everyone's so hyped.
Oh, man.
You did exactly what everyone needed you to do, and you killed it. He's like, even Sandy, like the main dude, he's like, he loves you now because he was just fucking went in there on mushrooms, but.
Incredible.
Yeah, so I don't know, made the best of it.
That's
that
that's
situation.
amazing that
That
worked out
sounds
the way it
amazing,
did.
dude.
Looking back on those Nike times, I remember there's just like a couple of key things that stick out to me, and like being with you, having that the business card got us out of so many situations.
Oh yeah,
it was
man.
insane.
Yeah, it was like anytime property managers and come up and shit, you hand them that card and they're like, oh shit, these guys like. So
Not some company they haven't heard of. This is
representing Nike, you know?
He's a Nike athlete. Yeah, go ahead, jump down this handrail.
Yeah,
This is
for
Jordan's
sure.
boy.
And then I remember also when you first got on Nike that the shit, there was all these big production things happening, and you guys were really trying to enter the snowboard scene with a bang. And I remember in the first VG movie that there was you guys were setting up a road gap or roof gap over a fence or something like that, and you guys got a helicopter to fly around the city, and Bubble Boy.
Well, that was a
McCormick.
street thing.
Yeah, they had a street
With a heli.
helicopter
I remember
shoot
hearing about this.
with a
That was
filmer
the-
that gets motion sickness.
Yeah, you can't even, fucking Sean McCormick can't even sit in the back seat of a car without throwing up.
And they threw him in a
Threw
heli.
his ass in a fucking
Oh
like
my.
a little
mini heli.
shitty little mini helicopter.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like their ad campaign. They wanted everything shot like bird's eye.
What city
We were
was
in
this?
Spokane.
Pre-drone. This is
Spokane.
pre-drone. You had to get a straight up helicopter.
Heli drone.
Oh, it was so oh man, it was crazy. I remember Cole Barish. Shouts to Cole.
Insane photo.
What up, Cole?
He just called some random helicopter tour from the Yellow Pages. Like, hey, can we rent a helicopter for a few hours? It was a little ass helicopter.
I never heard about these little helis.
Yeah,
Heli.
Sean didn't even get the footage because he was
Oh, he was so
throwing
sick.
up and shit.
Earthquake foot. He blew the shot.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, I wasn't there, so
You're
I don't know how it was for him. It was probably shitty because I think he had to hang out of the fucking helicopter.
yeah, it's gnarly. Dude.
Photos
You get-
banger.
Yeah, you get
Photos
motion
cool.
sickness in those helis.
The
when
other
they're
shitty
moving.
thing is that fucking took me 80 tries.
Oh, you couldn't land. You couldn't land, and you had the
Couldn't
bird in
land.
the air.
I couldn't land.
It was like mashed potato.
Yeah, the
shit.
landing
The
was
money is just stacking, and you're going try after try.
Well, the landing was like a foot and a half deep of just the
Mashies.
craziest slush ever, and we were landing in a police vehicle lot or something.
Oh, and the cops were down, huh?
No,
Oh, they weren't down.
not at all. But anyway, it worked out. Yeah, Nike.
80 tries later, you got the.
got the shot.
No
There.
pressure. We just got a bird in the air with Sean McCormick violently puking out of the side of it.
91 tries on snow.
Yeah, it worked out. We was on the top of a comic book store. I remember the dude was a dick. He was probably like,
Did you guys have permission for this heli?
worst idea ever.
That's what he said.
Holy
Did you have permission, or this heli's just loose on the streets? Like
No.
permission to get the heli around. Like now you can't even fly drones. in
Air
cities.
traffic control. I think.
Yeah, they hit it up.
Had to give
yeah,
it a pass.
you got
but
it.
It was definitely
That's insane.
unorganized, but it worked out.
Okay. This takes us into the next segment of our show. It's a fan favorite, mind you. Fan favorite. And, okay, here we go. Name that video part. These are queued up by Justin Meyer of the Videograss Corporation.
I got to give a shout to Meyer.
Big dog.
Biggest G.
Big shout. Dude's the shit.
Absolutely. A real one, that guy.
Mm-hmm.
He actually picked this one specifically for you. So
Oh, shit.
just to let you know, if you pick it, you get it correctly, you are awarded nothing. We have no prizes for
But you win. You're still a winner.
You're a winner.
As long as you guys think I'm a winner, that's cool.
Okay, here
we'll
we go.
see if you get it or not.
Here we go, guys.
right.
Here we go.
MFM.
Wow. Fastest one ever named.
The Gunslinger.
Wow.
Got that.
That's got to be some kind of record.
I didn't even know the song
Yeah,
yet.
you got that front three, fucking bash the tree,
He's hitting him with those fat butters at Park City.
and that fucking crane shot. You like the
What was the
fucking
movie?
Cab 10.
Cab
What was the
10.
movie?
Burning
Off
Bridges.
the
You don't know
toes.
that?
No, I
didn't
just
know that.
It's.
I'm almost disappointed in
I
Buds.
mean, I know it was one of those movies, but it all flows after 80 years
Oh yeah.
of cataloging video parts.
Buds was actually born during the Great Depression.
Here we go again.
Back when we'd play that game with the stick and the wheel
I
down the
even
street.
can almost name that band on that one because I remember.
I can name that game.
Buena
I
Vista
can-
Yeah,
Social
Buena
yeah.
Vista
Club.
Social Club.
Yeah, you're
but
not a
the-
rocket scientist. You really able to name that band.
If you really want to play name that part though, it's actually Chad Muska that had that shit first.
Wow. That's some facts.
Yeah.
Facts, son.
Facts. Kevin
So-
Gates, boys. Okay. Now this one's for the viewer listeners.
So don't gunsling on this
Yeah,
one.
don't gunsling this one. You might know it. This one's for viewer listeners. If you know it, comment on the Instagram post related to Benny's
And
podcast.
you'll get a prize pack.
And you know what we got for you? We got a prize pack. Okay.
Damn, they get prizes.
They get
yeah.
prizes.
Oh yeah.
Fuck is this?
I mean, we might hit you with some merch.
Yeah, we got some merch. We
Yeah,
got some
some
Bud
merch for you.
Diesel merch
Button
for
or
you.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll
Hints
hit
of banter tea, maybe.
Yeah,
I don't
we'll
know,
hit you with
something.
some.
All right.
Okay, we got some air fresheners. Okay, we're gonna take
Is
it away
that
here.
4XL or 1XL? What?
Buds, we're gonna take them away
right,
here.
let's
This is
do
for
this.
this is for the viewers, listeners. Classic. That's for the real snowboard nerds out there.
Damn,
I don't got that one.
You actually don't either.
Yeah, he's I'm gonna say it's a male, so that narrows down the field,
It's a
and
male.
he's an absolute legend.
Oh, it's a
But
male.
let's not
Okay.
give it away.
Yep.
But hey, Buds,
Ew, sorry
while
for
we're,
not knowing.
while we're getting back into this, can you throw the glasses on?
Oh, the glasses.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So we were just on a trip to where the hell was I? Finland. Poncho, the photographer, had me bring these back. Force Eastone.
Props to Poncho.
Dude, look at the.
A Russian classic, one of the real
Look
ones
at
from
this
Russia. Apparently, these on the streets of Russia are the hot shit right now.
What's homie's name from Star Trek though?
Oh yeah, that LaFlamme played him or whatever. He was also on Revenge of the Nerds, right?
Yup.
I can't remember his Star Trek name, but he had
You got
this
those
exact
thick old
kit.
ones.
Yeah, you might catch me out in the strats with these next season.
Please.
We
Yeah.
could see you. He's been talking about dusting off the Switch McTwist. That used to be his move. I would pay good money to see you go Switch Mickey in those babies.
A more attainable trick for me. I used to have that late back one where you
How's
kind of
the
kick it out
peripherals
forward
though?
Oh wow, yeah,
and then pull her back.
yeah. How's the perif on those
The
babies?
periffs, they're actually really sick side to side, but I don't know that you could see your board.
The vertical
you're going to be
periff.
blind. Any grab's going to be blind, but horizontal, insane.
Good.
Yeah, these are dope.
Okay,
Russian classic.
Thanks, Poncho, for those. all
Nice.
right, Benny. Let's keep it moving here, man. So kind of like with VG and stuff, filmed a couple more banger parts, and then like, what happened? What was popping in your life? What was going on?
Yeah, VG was kind of the last of the Mohicans for me. Meyer, thankful for him for sure. He pushed me in ways that I needed at the time. But yeah, man, I just had some pretty foul shit going on in my life at the time, and I couldn't focus on snowboarding. You know?
What was going on?
Well, I had some drug issues that kind of stemmed from a lot of things, I guess, and kind of poor management of stresses in life. You know what I mean? Well, I fucked my back up like years before this.
Yep.
I had to take a year off of snowboarding. I was actually on Nike at the time, and I had like traveled the U.S. to find a cure for this back shit that I was dealing with. And I had like almost 10 different doctors tell me I would never snowboard again.
Oh, damn.
That I was just past the point of return, and offered me nothing. It was just like, here's painkillers and good luck. You got to take these every day now for the rest of your life. So,
damn.
And I was literally in like agonizing pain. I couldn't bend over to put my socks on in the morning. Like, it was bad news. So I had to take painkillers, and that turned into abusing painkillers. And
did they get to the point where they took them away and you're looking for them on your own?
They didn't take them away, but
They
I
did?
was already like selling drugs and shit. So
Yeah.
like I knew where to get them. So I would just get them on the street. And I luckily had the sense in me to realize when it was a problem. You know what I mean? Like, I actually needed some pain relief because I couldn't fucking move. You know what I mean? But I luckily stopped myself and was like, holy shit, like, what did I get myself into? It's a slippery slope. If you've done it, I know maybe some of you people out there listening are in it. It sucks.
Yeah, and
it's
some people
very-
dabble, but some people,
Yeah,
they
no,
get
it's a
sucked
very, very slippery slope, and you got to catch it before it, takes a hold of you. But
your pleasure was mostly pain pills and
yeah, that's it. Pain pills. That was it.
Yeah.
So, and I knew that like I'd save money if I started doing heroin or like.
yeah, that's the shitty part, right?
Yeah,
And
but
and being your neighbor around this time, I could see you were fucked up a couple times.
Oh, yeah,
Or
no.
all around like.
Yeah, no, there was some bad days for sure, and but luckily I had the sense in me to like realize it was a problem.
Yeah.
And
How long
I
did you
stopped.
stay on them?
Greater part of a year, probably.
Yeah.
And I couldn't do what I love to do. I couldn't snowboard. I couldn't do anything. And
Yeah.
if you've ever been in that
You're just
situation
gelled
where-
out, basically.
well, yeah, I don't. If you've been through like a legitimate back injury,
It's gnarly. Yeah, it's fucked.
It like at first it's just the pain, and you're like, oh my god, this pain sucks. But then it starts taking a hold of your mental state
Yeah.
because you can't do anything, and
Yeah.
every movement you make is dictated by this injury.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can't do anything. So it was like,
Paralyzing.
and the
it
pills
was
are taking that
debilitating.
away to some degree and
Yeah,
making
so
you
it's
forget,
just
I'm
a
sure.
whole mixture of things, and I let it get the best of me at that point. But
Yeah.
anyway, I stopped, and it was rough.
Were you
It
spending a
was
lot of money
fucking rough
on the pills?
Probably,
I know they're expensive.
Yeah, probably more than
More than you'd like.
I'd like.
More than you
for
care
sure.
to tally up.
Yeah, no, for sure. But
Imagine if there was an
like,
app that tallied your drug
There
spending.
is.
No,
actually.
there is.
Yeah, when you're sober, because I'm sober, I have this app, and I can't
Tells you
remember the
how much
name of
you
it, but
saved.
you'd say what you spend a week
Try to
on
be,
booze
yeah, but if
and
you were
drugs,
honest with yourself,
and it's actually like the numbers are insane.
Stacks up.
You're like,
yeah, I don't want to know that. Not
me,
at all.
me and talking to Lizard about that. He's like,
Fuck that.
I could probably have a house for what I spent on that.
Yeah, fuck all that. But no, I woke up one day and was like, this is a fucking problem. Like, this has got to stop.
I remember you coming to my house
Yeah, and I
and
was
breaking down, being honest,
God,
just
yeah.
like, hey, I got to tell you something, man.
Yeah, and I wanted to make shit right.
And that was probably hard.
I know I looked real bad in front of a lot of people. You know,
I heard some
And-
stories of you falling asleep at dinner and
Oh yeah,
people
no.
talking, and
was
we didn't know
bad.
what to do. Yeah.
No, so it took like a month or more of just like withdrawals.
You
which
got gnarly sick.
I don't know if you've ever been through that shit.
You didn't
but
go Suboxone
holy
or any
fuck.
helper. You just did this,
I had to. I did it cold turkey for like a week.
and it's just agonizing.
It was
huh?
like everything you've seen in the movies, man.
Yeah.
Like literally like shaking and fucking sweating.
baby
and, like,
crawling on the ceiling, like
straight
train
up.
spotting.
Yeah, it was like I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy.
Can't eat, can't sleep.
Nah, nope.
So
But
you
anyway,
went cold turk for
I
a
went
week.
cold turkey, but here's the thing: I had a Nike trip, and it was to Switzerland, I think.
Oh damn!
And I was like, I can't
Not go.
do this in my condition. Like,
Yeah.
I can't do it. I can't sit on a fucking like. I can't basically fake it. Like I can't
Yeah.
like fool them. You know what I mean? So I called like 100 different doctors, and I was like, look, I'm doing this not because my family's forcing me to get clean. Like I realize I have a fucking problem, and I'm done. I just need some Suboxone so I can fucking function and go on this. I work for fucking Nike, and
Yeah.
I need this. Anyway, I found one doctor who was willing to give me like a small script, and he's like, I could lose my license if I do this.
Really?
Because you're supposed to go to rehab, and I'm not fucking going to rehab.
Yeah.
Because I
And you
looked
didn't
at
have
it.
time, right?
No, I mean, it would have just fucked my whole life up.
Yeah.
Plus, I looked at it like I got myself into this position, and I'm going to get myself out of this position. I'm not going to use rehab, and like, that's just stupid. Like, the human mind is strong enough to get through.
And it's right for some
anything,
people,
you know what
let's
I mean?
say, though. It's definitely.
Yeah, some people need it, and
need
there's
it.
nothing wrong with that. But for me, that wasn't the way for me. So,
Yeah.
anyway, I got a little small script of Suboxone and managed to go on the trip, and basically had to snowboard on that trip, and I had been off because of the injury, and I couldn't even snowboard. It was the worst thing ever. Bobby even like later on was like, dude, I almost had to fire you because like I could not snowboard. I tried and like I forgot how to do everything. It was like
Because of your back or because of
just I don't know, the time
mental
off and the
state?
mental
Yeah,
that shit
probably
fucks with
mental.
your brain, dude.
yeah. So I was like, even I was just like, oh my god, like this is it. Like
Yeah.
I'm done. You
what
know.
am I going to do?
Anyway, I got clean, came home from that trip, and everything was cool. And I ended up seeing Den, this fucking the man, Den. Most of you people know Den, but this is after like years of going to every different witch doctor you can imagine.
Well,
Trying
he's
to
the
find
one
a
who
cure.
finally fixed you.
He's the one. I didn't even have to show him my MRIs or X-rays or anything, and he was like, laid it all out. He's like, you got a herniated disc, 2 bulged discs, you got your pelvis, your tailbone, like laid it all out without even like looking at
And
shit.
feeling around. Just so those of you who don't know, Dan is a massage therapist in Salt Lake that works on snowboards. It's like a freaking magician.
Yeah, straight up.
I've
And he was,
seen
like, giving
riders
me-
doing cartwheels, hurting themselves, and yell out, call Dan. Because
Yeah.
they know it's the only way it's going to get them
Yeah,
back
I
on
know.
there.
But he got me good. He got me back in action within like a couple months.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got back at it, got my mental state better, and I filmed like 2 more parts with videographs.
Oh, you did?
really
You got
sick.
2 more parts
Oh
done
yeah,
after that?
bangers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there was another kind of my exit out of the whole snowboard scene was another kind of poor choice. Poor what's the word? Just poor
Judgment?
decisions.
Bad decision.
Poor judgments. But yeah, I had like been trying to work on my last video part, and Meyer, the fucking man, he was just pushing me like in the best of ways,
Yeah.
like trying to get me out, and I just couldn't do it, man. I couldn't wrap my head around it because I just was dealing with so much fucked up shit. Like my house that I had bought, I was part of like this big fraud. It was a big deal. Like they made movies about it, The Big Short, I think it's called.
Yeah.
Where basically mortgage companies were selling loans to other lenders and not telling the people. So in other words, I paid my mortgage payment and never was late, ever, once. They sold my loan and I continued to pay them because I thought they were my lender, and they weren't.
That is what The Big Short was about. huh?
Yep.
Yeah, so they fucked me. They stole my house from me.
I assumed it was drugs.
No,
And I
was
never called you on it.
Never late on a payment.
Crazy.
So I'm like trying to hold it together. I was completely like sober, you know. And they basically, during that last year trying to film a video part, the mortgage company was coming after me. They're like, we're going to foreclose on you. And I had all the proof in the world. I had every pay stub and
They didn't
everything
try
proven.
to work a new mortgage out with you? One of those things where the forbearance? Or
No.
No.
They were straight up crooks, dude. Like they did it to thousands of people. And basically I'm trying to fight. I'm spending all my money on attorneys representing me. And it's basically like they can do whatever they want because they're Bank of America. So they're like, unless you got 70 racks to put on this fucking case, then you're going to lose. So I'm trying to deal with all that, trying to film a video part. I just split up with my girlfriend of 6.5 years. And my mom was basically like on her deathbed. She was abusing some things. And then one of my best friends died. And then my dog died.
Damn.
And it was just like
Cassius?
all within 6 months of it, of a span.
Just a brutal time.
Yeah, it was just too much, man.
Yeah.
So I
you can't focus on
Did this-
snowboarding. And
Did this make you
focus
dip
on
back to
snowboarding.
the drugs, or?
Yeah, so I actually fucking started taking Xanax just to like cope.
So a new drug.
Benzos.
Just to just to like cope with some sort of like stress reliever. And it all started pretty like, you know, not in a
Starts chill.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just like I just can't fucking deal with this stress.
Yeah.
Like, there's too much.
Yeah, that's a lot to happen all in a span
Yeah,
for
so
recovering.
I couldn't even focus on snowboarding, and then on top of that, Nike was done. They
They pulled the
we're
plug.
pulling out.
Lost
So
a fat amount of income.
yeah, so that was gone. Nitro pulled the plug on me, and I was just like, dude, what? My life is done.
Yeah,
like,
what am I doing?
And then I get a knock on my door one morning, and it's a cop and a real estate dude, and they were like, you have 10 days to vacate this property.
Did you get any advance notice that they were coming?
No, they just knocked on my door. You have 10 days to get the fuck out of here. Anything you leave here is ours. There's
Wow.
nothing you can do. And I had already spent most of my money on
They
attorneys and
basically
shit.
already sold the house at auction.
Yeah, it's like for me to explain it all right
Yeah.
now would just take so
Take
much time.
forever.
But
Dude.
basically, they fucked me. I was never late on a payment.
Mm-hmm.
Never late once, and they
Fuck.
fucking stole my house. So I had lived in this house for 10 years. I was like,
Dope
had
house, dude.
yeah,
Your
yeah.
house is so sick.
I had a music studio in the
pool
back.
table.
Yeah, the music studio is sick.
I was established. So then I'm like, fuck,
What do I
my
do?
career's over. I lost my lady.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know what to do.
Say
So
rock bottom, maybe
yeah,
at that
it
point.
was straight up rock bottom. So
Yeah.
I lost. I took whatever I could out of the house and put most of it into a storage unit, which I don't know if you've lived in a house for 10 years, imagine packing it all up in 10 days.
Yeah, that's insane.
And I, on top of that, they fucked up my credit, so I couldn't get approved to live anywhere.
Oh, damn.
So I had put everything in a storage unit and had nothing. Like, my career was over. Snowboarding just wasn't a thing for me anymore.
Fuck.
I kind of like had looked stupid in front of a lot of people, you know? Like, I think a lot of people saw me in a bad way, and I
Did you think anyone turned their backs on you because you
Yeah.
told them you were doing drugs or whatever?
I
and-
didn't really tell anybody, but it was like pretty obvious.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that was another hard part, because I think I felt like a lot of people turned their back on me.
That
like,
sucks. Good friends.
yeah, good people I considered like brothers to me. Just
Yeah.
like when it got hard and I seemed weird, they fucking boned out, you know?
That sucks.
So I was in bad shape, dude. I was living in my truck with my dog Cassius. I was all fucked up. I pretty much wanted to die. Like,
Damn.
I didn't want to live anymore. And I think
Yeah.
subconsciously I was like just taking as much shit as I could, just hoping that I could just exit.
That
know what I mean?
clean exit.
Yeah, I was like living in my storage unit, sleeping there, sleeping
Damn.
like in my car, just like, you know, you go from like in the limelight and then you're just in the fucking gutter.
Yeah.
It's a weird, like,
In a matter of months, huh?
yeah, in like a matter of 6 months.
Damn.
So it's like
Heavy.
to
heavy.
go from those two extremes, it's like it's a lot. You know what I mean? But it's
Same.
like, it's weird to like realize through all that, I realized that like you figure out what's really important. You know what I mean? Like, as a pro snowboarder, I think you can be humble about it, but you know people are fucking stroking your ego all the time.
Yeah.
100%,
And they're fucking throwing you money and this and that. When that's gone, you got to figure out what's what.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you realize like that ain't shit, really.
And you got a
Like,
whole
lot
long
of it-
life net left.
Yeah,
A
and
lot
like
of shit going on.
exactly. So I was just like, fuck, I don't have a career. I'm not making money. I don't have a fucking place to live. So I packed up. And then my dog Cassius died.
That's got to be the losing the
Yeah.
dog too on top.
yeah.
That's
Because he's
heavy.
the one that's there for you, sleeping in the car with
Yeah,
you.
no, he was the fucking
He was such a G.
road dog.
He lived at my house for a bit, man. He was
He was the
dope
ledge,
dog.
dude.
He I got him when I was 18, so it was like we talked about this, like dogs I think are in people's lives for a reason, and like they leave when it's like they have some weird agreement with like the universe, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he passed on, and that was when I was like, I gotta go. Like
That was a sign.
Yeah,
You're
I was like,
I'm out. Catch this. This is
I had like felt like I lost all respect from everybody, you know, because like, and I don't blame them. Like I looked crazy, like I was fucked up. I was super fucked up, but I was also like crying for help. You know what I mean? I was like in a bad spot.
I think your friends didn't know what to say at that time sometimes because it was just, you just don't know. Where, you know, nowadays I think I'd be more well trained, but it was hard because it just.
Yeah, and I can't get mad at anybody. Yeah. Like, it's a weird thing to approach, you know what I mean? And I've done it for a lot of friends, like when you got to, like, really get real with them, you know? So I'm not, like, harboring any, like...
resentment.
Whatever. It is what it is.
It is what it is.
I was not looking good. I was not looking good.
Your
but I was just, like, I was fucked up. Yeah. And I had a lot of fucking crazy shit going on. So anyway.
Yeah, dude, that's an insane circumstance. That high to low is just like unreal to hit that rock bottom after being a Nike top tier athlete in this exclusive top tier snowboarding, and then you're down. Next thing you know, you're sleeping in your car and your house gets taken like 6 months later. That's insane. That's just crazy.
Yeah, it was a lot.
So
I was like out of options, and I had a little bit money left, and packed my car full of shit, full of everything I needed, and I moved to California. I knew like one contact out there who was in the weed game.
Growing.
And, just everything, selling, growing, just.
The legal weed game?
No. Just. No. Well, yeah, some legal, but mostly illegal. But I was like, I need to get the fuck out of here.
Were you still on the Zanny at this point?
I was kind of like, a little bit, but enough to like.
Like, how'd you get off? I heard coming off of that, it was even gnarlier than pills.
It's fucked up. Yeah,
you can die.
Yeah, you can actually die. Yeah,
for sure. I don't know.
You weaned it off and
I just
tried to get control.
Yeah,
he did it. He didn't die.
Yeah. Well, I moved to California. Just got into the weed game. Like, jumped in head first.
Where are we talking? Riverside? Where were you at?
I was in like in between. I was going back and forth from like Orange County to LA.
Oh, okay.
And I invested in like a big grow facility that I was partnered in, you know. So
damn,
was growing weed and selling weed, everything weed related.
Yeah.
And like I moved to a place where nobody knew me. Like I could have faked a fucking English accent and been like fucking
crazy, dude.
Hi, mate.
Benedict, fucking Bennee, whatever.
That would have been amazing.
So it felt good. It was weird because
no one had that assumption. Oh, this guy's on drugs.
They didn't know about the cab too.
They knew nothing.
They didn't know about the cab too.
Which is also was also crazy too, to go from like a place where everyone fucking knows you and what you're about to going somewhere where nobody fucking knows you. You don't have any juice, like nothing.
Yeah.
You're just some new guy, you know?
It's crazy too, people get so wrapped up in their identity as like a snowboarder. Like that's their story. I'm a snowboarder. They tell themselves that over and over. And when it's taken away, what are you? Right?
You're all of a sudden just Justin Bennee.
Yeah.
I had to shed that. And that's like, it taught me so much. And I don't look at that time of like losing my house and all this and that. Like, I don't look at it as when I lost everything.
Yeah,
it's like when I really gained everything.
Yeah.
Because I know who the fuck I am now. You know what I mean?
100%.
Yeah, you had to readjust and get to know yourself, huh? I guess you weren't
really
pro snowboarder Bennee.
And I was lonely. You know, I was in California alone.
Yeah.
I didn't know fucking anybody.
How'd you meet these guys you got involved with?
Depressed. I don't even remember.
Just met him out there.
Well, Chris Prosser, you guys know him?
Yeah, I know him. Prosser
Sauce.
Shouts to Prosser. He was working with this cat, Nam. And
no, I've met Nam.
Yeah. I know Nam.
A lot of stories there.
Big bear dude, right?
Yeah, so we started.
Nam's got some stories.
Around, but so I moved out there and just got into the weed shit like heavy. Yeah. And that was like my new life.
But you're still depressed, missing that old life.
It was just like, it takes a minute to like
adjust.
Chew that, you know what I mean?
It's
like,
uncomfortable.
That was all I knew. Snowboarding. You started when I was 16, you know?
Yeah.
That was it.
Life after pro, man, is a serious thing.
And it was abrupt.
You guys got to deal with.
Yeah, and it was abrupt. Like, you think about it as you're a pro snowboarder, you're like, this is not going to last forever. So you got to think of, like, something.
Yeah.
I just didn't expect it to fucking bitch slap me, like,
that quick
in a couple months.
Yeah.
And, so I just did what I had to do. And still, I'm just doing what I have to do. Like, I'm I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Like
Just living.
yeah, I fucking work at a restaurant. I hustle. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to get myself arrested on here, but I do what I have to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
And sometimes it sucks, but like I know it's important.
It probably gave you a new appreciation for life, right? Having that, like sometimes like you got to go through some shit to get you where you're going, and maybe not like being comfortable and having it all isn't always the best part. Maybe getting broken down to nothing and having to restart totally makes you reevaluate your whole life. And
Yeah, that struggle, that rise.
yeah, that struggle and that
yeah, well, even just losing my house, like I had all this shit,
Yeah.
and I had to just like shed it.
Yeah.
yep.
And then you really quickly realize, like, I don't really need
You don't even need that
any
shit.
of it. It's all stuff.
You
know what
hold
I
on
mean?
to it when it's gone. You don't even care.
Yeah, you don't
Yeah.
even realize it's gone.
It ain't shit. But
How long were you in Cali?
I lived there for like 5 years.
5 years.
Yeah, and then through Nam, we ended up kind of having business differences.
Yeah.
I'll say it. Just leave it there.
Yeah.
But I met really, really good dude, Scotty Leone, and his girl, Shay, were like my closest friends out there, and they helped fucking make me who I am today.
Nice.
Really cool.
Just helped you
people.
get out of your depression, I guess.
Yeah, they were just good people. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
and you
They
needed that.
Took me in, and like they knew what I was up.
When
what I
you're a
did
G,
and
you're
shit.
always going to attract good people no matter what's going on.
Yeah, they were good people, you know, and we I'm just gonna say it. LSD helped me a lot.
Really?
Yeah.
Do some micro dosing type of stuff.
Full dose.
Full
microdose.
dosing.
On
Okay.
dosage.
A lot of microdosing though, but yeah, man, like shit. It definitely did a lot for me.
Dude, you crawl inside your inner mind
Yeah,
and walk
I
out a different
Face
person.
your demons and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think I did what like most people would go to rehab and therapy and all
Yeah.
this shit. Like I did my own way of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like just did a bunch of acid and
Found yourself.
found myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the thing that's cool is when you talk about, like, I'm the type of person people can say they're doing great, and it's cool because we can see that you're doing
Yeah, we
great.
can see you're
it's not
doing
so. It's
good.
one thing to be like, I went to rehab and I'm doing great. You're like, bro, you're not doing great. We can see you, but like
Yeah.
you did your thing, and all your friends can see. We saw where you're at, and we see where you're at now, and you're like whole vibe, and it's so sick. So whatever it took to get you there it worked. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
it's
that's
so
nice
sick.
to hear. Because like going through that, there's even today, I'll see people that kind of give me that sideways look, like they're just not quite sure.
They're like, is this guy, what's up with him?
Yeah, and I think that's always going to be that way
Yeah.
with certain people.
Yeah.
But I realize, like,
Fuck them.
fuck them.
Yeah, fuck him, man.
You're fired.
Fuck them.
I don't need that.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. So California was good. I basically just kind of had to like reinvent myself and
Well,
find
what
myself.
brought you
and
back to us? What brought you back here?
I think, well, I partnered up with Scotty and Shay, and they created Life Flower, which is like a
Well, that's this-
CBD
this,
company that's
what you
behind
have
me.
behind you?
Yeah,
Dope.
which is like just the best. Like I don't need painkillers and weird shit anymore because CBD. Like
Sick.
there's a lot of trash out there, but like that shit just like helps with all my fucking pain.
That's what Life
whatever.
Flower is. It's a CBD straight
Yeah,
up.
just CBD shit, man, and it's just good people. But
That's awesome.
I just kind of I think that chapter of my life just expired. You know,
Yeah.
it was like
Time to come
heavy in the
home.
week. I was basically living in a trap house. I was like, I don't want to say too much, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was doing all kinds of shit, and
Maybe time to get out of there.
yeah, but it wasn't bad. It
Yeah.
was just like the legal weed game changed when the laws changed,
Mm-hmm.
and it was like I was making legal money for a while, and then it went legal, and then there's too much red tape.
Yeah.
So I was just like hustling. I was trapping, and it was awesome. But I just think I just really miss the mountains and my people. And
Yeah.
This place is special here.
it
this place
is,
is
man.
dope.
Like obviously, like I have family in California now.
You do.
That Life Flower
Oh,
family.
with your homies
those
you were
people,
with.
yeah, they'll always be family. But like these are my roots. I
Yeah.
have like an attachment, and the mountains. My whole family's here, so it was like I needed to take that time to like redo Justin. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and I felt like it was time to just like reintroduce myself again, you know,
That's sick.
come correct. Like there'd been there's too many bad looks. I'd go around, people just saw me all fucked up, and like
Come back and show people.
Yeah, I just wanted
hey.
to disappear
Yeah.
for 5 years and then just come back like, oh shit, he's back.
He's back.
This is the one we remember.
It's good.
you know?
Yeah. You seem like you're in a
Appreciate it.
positive place, and that's dope.
Yeah, man. Life is good.
It's
For
super.
sure.
It's
I got
super.
red bottoms
It's
on.
super important that you told that journey, because there's people in there that are like, if you, at the end of the day, like, you're probably hopeless, right? You're at a point where you're just hopeless.
I wanted to die.
Yeah, wanted to die, and
Straight up.
that hopelessness comes in all different forms, whether it's depression, drug use, anxiety, whatever. However you get there, there's a similar feeling there, and so there's people that are going through that right now, and so you're just a walking version of, hey, look, I was there. You can get through it too. So it's cool that you were able to tell people that, and we really appreciate
You've
like
come out the other side,
coming out the other
for
side,
it.
and being able to come here and tell us that's incredible.
Man. I feel for anybody going through it. And
Yeah.
can always reach out to me, you know?
Yeah.
That's sick.
I'm there for people, and it sucks, dude. Life fucking sucks
Life
sometimes,
is
dude. But
tough, man. But
life
the journey
also
is
is
what
awesome.
makes us.
Yeah,
right?
it takes the bad to appreciate the good, you know?
Yeah.
And I think also, like, probably losing all those material items, you probably appreciate your relationships with people and who's important in your life,
That's the shit
right?
that matters.
That's what
you know?
matters, yeah.
You can have all this fucking bells and whistles, but it
Doesn't-
ain't shit.
At the end of the day, that's not what makes you happy.
Yeah,
No.
100%.
But yeah, life is good, man. I'm back and feel like myself, and I've been like sober for a long time now. You know,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
a lot of people like get their chips and like go through programs and stuff, and I didn't go that route, but I just went my own route, and that's just a chapter, and I'm not ashamed to talk about it. Like,
That's good.
part of
that
my
means
story.
That means
you
you're
know?
through it.
You're
Yeah.
inspiring people too. It's the same way. There's power in that, because there's a lot of people that say, "Oh, I'm in it. I'm a snowboarder." He's a snowboarder too. He went through it, and
Yeah.
you know, like, I think I do a program myself. I'm sober. You know, I've been sober
Yeah.
for 3 years, and it's important for people to know that, so they can say, "Oh shit, well, there isn't. I can choose to live a different life than how I'm living right now," because a lot of people are living a life and they're not happy, and there is options. You know,
Yeah,
so
for sure.
it's cool, and it's really cool. It's really powerful for people to hear, and then seeing you, dude, this year up at the Bone Zones.
Yeah,
back
there's a
ripping.
lot of talk about
Yeah,
that, man.
it's cool. The snowboard industry still has so much love for you, dude. It's like they come back. People don't forget the cab too. They don't forget
Yeah.
that
Oh,
shit.
shit.
I don't know
man,
if this is
appreciate
true, but Deadlung was telling me he was kind of bringing you up to the Bone Zone. You were a little nervous, just like, dude, all these people up there, what am I going to do? And he's just like, dude, just do some Bennee shit. People are going to be hyped.
Yeah, we had that
And
conversation.
you get out
for
there,
sure.
you crack a nollie or something, do a back lip, I don't know, and people are just like,
Well, it's
people are
hard
going
to-
nuts.
Yeah, no, that's cool. I
Feel
the
that love from the community.
I definitely feel the love and appreciate the love.
And then I heard mad people talking that you were up there, like, just, via the
I think
grapevine.
It was cool.
I think maybe
good to be
Deadlung
back
put a
up there.
vid up or something, and
Yeah, we had some plans. I was like trying to make some comeback part. It didn't happen this year, but I
Hey,
think there's other
there's
years.
time.
I think you put anything out, people are gonna be happy to see
yeah.
it.
Yeah, we got to do something.
Yeah, that's the thing.
'cause
You don't
that's the-
have to go crazy. You
You
just
should come
put
up to
out
my
some
cab.
shit.
Come to the cabin.
Oh,
That's a
that
good
Freedom
spot for
Frontier.
you. Yeah,
I've been dying to go.
We gotta
Me
get you up there
too,
too.
dude. What is up?
Buds is so late. He's if
I'm
he
just
says
not
he's
even
gonna be
invited
there,
anymore.
because you know what? If he says he's gonna be there at 2, he's gonna be there at like
Dude.
5:30 p.m. when it's dark.
I've been to this
shows up-
studio on time every
He
day.
actually he's been on time lately. You know about the turkey trot scenario,
Oh,
right?
Jesus,
Have you heard about the
dude.
turkey trot?
No.
It's a real thing.
So
man.
one year, Bodie was out shooting with Buds, and he said that, hey, meet at the spot at this time. Buds didn't show up, and he said, guys, there's a turkey trot.
A marathon. in front of
Apparently,
my
there's a
house.
marathon in front of his house. He couldn't leave, and
There was police stopping cars,
Yeah.
and everyone just thought I was making this
Yeah, we thought the
up.
turkey trot was a made-up thing. The next year, he sent us a video of like 100 people jogging in front of his house.
And they call it the turkey trot scenario now.
Anytime he's late, oh, well, what do we got, a turkey trot scenario
is-
going
is
on
this
here,
another
Buds?
turkey trot? So every year, actually, I go out and film it and send it to everyone who was there that day and be like, we got a turkey trot scenario.
Damn, you should jump in the turkey trot.
I probably should. Yeah, it goes right past my house. I even think it goes past T-Birds now, maybe. I don't know.
Damn, that sounds like a long one. So what I was wondering, like, during that time of when you were in not necessarily doing well, you're like out of snowboarding. How did you feel towards snowboarding? Were you just like, fuck this shit?
Yeah, I don't know. I think I was pretty angry. Like, I kind of like didn't quite know. I kind of felt like betrayed in a way.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like
That's your family. That's your culture in a way.
Yeah,
it
it was my life.
Yeah.
And it just seemed like, I understand I did some dumb shit. Like, I didn't look good. I didn't portray myself in a way that was even trustworthy of
You're
like
not
someone
the
you
first
can
person to
throw
do
money
dumb
at.
shit.
Yeah. But it just seemed like they were so quick to be like, you're fucking done, you know, without even being like, coming to me man to man and being like, what's the deal? Like,
Yeah.
are you okay?
Yeah.
It was just like, we can't associate with you
Yeah.
kind of feeling. And I
You're
was
all
just
of a
like,
sudden a
"Eh."
risk. You're a risk.
Yeah, so I was just kind of like,
You're a
fuck
liability.
snowboarding.
Yeah.
And I
That
think
sucks.
that's it. Just made me like bummed on it.
Probably because of the level you were at and what was going on, and
Yeah,
you're always a real clear-minded person. I guess people just didn't know how to react.
and I get it, but snowboarding is also just like a quick. It's a fast moving,
Yeah.
progressing thing, and
Mhm.
if you're not,
You're only as good as your last like
That's
video
what
part
sucks
or
for
whatever.
you guys,
And
yeah.
Quick memories.
yeah, I've always said this about snowboarding. Most people in it have an attitude that's, "What have you done for me lately?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
There's no longevity like
Yep.
in skating where it's like, you're a fucking OG. You're here. Oh, you're on drugs. Well, we're gonna help you through this.
We're gonna help
know?
you through this. We're here for
Snowboarding
you.
kind of seems like
Turn and burn. Yeah.
You're
That
not the
sucks.
clean look. Like, we gotta get rid of you. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Straight
so
up.
I just boned the fuck out. I went to California and was like, "This is my life now."
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now that you're like you're back, you're up there, you're riding, you probably have a totally different perspective, right? Where it's like,
Yeah, it's cool. It's like I'm snowboarding for the passion of it.
Yeah,
There's no
so-
like obligation. There's
Yep.
no like, fuck, I need to be filming.
yep,
I
That's
need to
gotta
get
feel pretty
shots.
good, huh?
yep.
Yeah, it's awesome. Like, people still ask me, like, "Do you even snowboard anymore?" Because I don't really like. I'll go and I don't like film.
You don't advertise it.
Yeah, because I don't really have the personality to want to like jerk myself off on Instagram.
Not looking
and
for
show
those
everybody.
affirmations on Instagram.
Yeah, I
that-
know who the fuck I am. I don't need to like get praise from people.
Validate
Yeah.
me, validate me, validate me.
Yeah,
You
no.
just go shred.
So
Yeah.
it's cool, man, and I fucking love snowboarding. It's like, I think snowboarding. I love meditating for one. Snowboarding is definitely a form of meditation. It's like
Hell yeah.
any activity where you're just in the moment and you're only focusing on that moment is like really beneficial, and that's snowboarding. That's yoga. That's like, there's not a lot of things in this world that do that. So yeah, now when I go, it brings me back to like when I was escaping some shitty shit at home.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm like, oh, I don't have to worry about taxes and shit.
Yeah, straight up. Yeah.
You can just escape,
Amazing.
snowboard, and be completely in the
Yeah.
moment.
I mean, that's what's so beautiful about snowboarding and
Yeah.
skating. It's just, it's always there for you when you need it. You know?
Shit, yeah, and you're in nature. Like,
Yeah.
what other thing can you do where you're like fucking flying through trees like Star Wars and
Yeah,
shit? Like,
being
it's so
outside.
sick, dude.
And you can be any age, making turns,
Yeah.
just loving
So-
this.
I
That's
would love to
amazing.
find a way to continue like
Just keep shredding.
being a snowboarder.
Yeah.
making money
Snowboard
doing it, but-
community loves you, dude.
Yeah,
you gotta,
I
you
love
gotta
them
know,
back,
you gotta
man.
know that
You
though.
have a
Like, just
place.
even though
Yeah,
there's probably
no.
had some weird times, like your name comes up. Like, I just kind of told a couple people, like, hey, we're gonna have a chat with Bennee for the bomb hole, and like everybody's like, dude, I can't wait
So
to hear
hyped.
that. Like,
Yeah, they
so
wanna
hyped. Like, they
digest
don't give
this.
it. And like, even like, it's funny because I'm like, we're gonna talk to Bennee. Like, Sage was like, hey, let's do one. I'm like, Sage, you can just fucking. We'll get to you. We got some shit to talk about. We're gonna talk to fuck
Well,
a
that's good
Wheaties
to
box.
hear, man.
Fuck
Yeah,
a
it's good
Wheaties
to
box.
hear.
You
Like
know
a
what I mean?
gold medal.
I
Seeing
appreciate
you
it. I really appreciate it, man.
to get into another topic, you know, we lost our good friend J2 last summer.
Yeah.
For all the viewers, he had cancer. Very close to both Justin and I and Chris. Seeing you last summer with Tuz's family was incredible. That's when I knew Benny's back.
Appreciate
You were
it.
so there for his family. You were like that dude running back and forth for his mom, for his sister, for you doing
Yeah.
everything you can for them. And that was, without you, I think their experience here would have been a lot different and a lot harder. And that was really cool to see. You know, it was like Benny's back.
Well, I appreciate it,
Justin's
man.
here.
Twos was like that friend to everybody. You know?
Yeah.
So
you
it's
and him
like-
are really, really close.
Yeah,
Like I
we're-
was.
Yeah, like you and him and me and him were fucking blood.
Yeah,
Like,
blood.
There's straight up blood. you
No
know?
human
And
like him on this earth.
no,
Or will be again, I imagine.
people say that to everyone they lose, but like Twos is actually
Yeah. I wish
the
everyone
fucking
could
man,
know him like we did, you know?
Yeah, you know, and like I was there for Twos because he was there for me. You know,
Yeah.
like when I was fucked up, he treated me the exact same.
Yes.
The whole time.
That's huge about Twos. He doesn't ever let anything hang over your head.
And
he takes you at face value, right?
Yeah. And, you know, he had his struggles.
Yeah.
And I never treated him different either. And
yeah, me neither.
I'd go hang out with him and his fucking tweaker homies.
Yeah,
but
and it was crazy.
yeah, but Twos was,
but it was
always
entertaining.
the same
Yeah, he
cat,
was the same
dude.
funny
He never
motherfucker.
changed. He, I don't know anyone else who could get in that situation and you could still trust him with like a bunch of valuables laying
because
around. Like you would never
J2
fucking.
was your boy. Yeah, and he's such a great human.
Yeah, man, that was a hard loss, man.
Yeah, I don't know about
Devastating.
you, man, but I was there with you in those kind of last moments. You were even there a little bit more than me.
Yeah.
Man, did we see proof of maybe an afterlife in that hospital? Because
you've told me about this. This sounds like some. If you're not a spiritual person,
dude.
This sounds kind of nuts.
I was someone that never really went into church, and I walked out of that hospital just being like, dude, I think there's something after. Like I saw J2 sit there and say he was phasing in and out of a reality to seeing me and saying, "What's up? Thanks for coming." And then the next moment, he's like, "You're the guy that made the mountains."
He was kind of nodding out, right?
Yeah, and
he
was like looking through you all of a sudden. I know maybe you have even more. You kept a little journal.
Yeah, I wrote some things down. He definitely had a foot on the other side, you know? Like, you can believe whatever you want, but...
You saw it.
I saw some shit, you know? And he said some shit that was heavy. Like, I was with him the whole time in the hospital, and I slept there a few nights, and he was, like, out for a couple days or a whole day, and he had visitors coming, and, like, he wasn't even...
Yeah, we thought we were going to lose him, right?
Yeah, he wasn't, like, responding and shit, but he'd perk up, and he would, like, look around, but he would stare straight through you.
Yeah.
Like, you weren't there, you know? And he just said shit, like... The dope thing is, though, he stayed funny as fuck.
Yeah,
like,
he kept cracking
even when he's
you
in and
up.
out of, like,
You're
consciousness,
sitting there
basically.
crying,
Yeah.
and he's, like, making jokes
Yeah.
to the other people
Oh
he's
my
talking to.
So good, man. Yeah, one thing... It was like he was just bullshitting with angels.
Yeah.
Like he was at the gates, and he was just himself, just fucking funny as hell.
Yeah.
Like, I wrote a few things down. Someone came in. This will stick with me. This is like such a rad thing. But someone's like, "I love you, buddy. I'll see you soon." And he said, "My love isn't going anywhere," which is like so heavy.
Yeah.
Someone's like, "Hey, Twos, how are you?" And this motherfucker's dying in a hospital bed, and he goes, "Better than you." Oh, what else did he say? Yeah, I remember him. He said, "I'm ready to go to the other side."
You straight heard that.
Straight up, yeah. I'm ready to go to the other side. It was actually the night before he passed away, and his mom asked me to stay at the hospital with them.
Yeah.
And he had been out. Like, we thought he was going to die that night. And he had oxygen, like, blowing air into him, like, real
Keeping
hard.
him.
So his mouth was, like, dry as I've ever seen anyone's mouth.
Yeah.
And he fucking woke up and was all alert. We're like, holy shit. And he's like, water, I need water. So we're like, fuck. Gave him water. And he took a gulp and he started choking on it. Like, didn't think he was going to pull through this choke. Like,
Wow.
was like, oh. And I grabbed him and, like, pat him on the back, you know, like a baby. And he's, like, trying to come back, you know. And he sits up and he's, like, all kind of confused. And he had all these tubes and shit on him.
Yeah.
And the room was dark, and the only light was coming through the doorway. And he sat up, and he kept trying to get his legs off the bed.
Really?
And he's like, "I'm ready to go to the other side."
Like he was walking to the light.
He was going towards the light, man. And I had to hold him. I was like, "You got to stay here, dude. Like, you're still with us. Like,
Yeah.
you got to stay put. Like, I know these tubes and shit suck, but, like, you got to stay here."
Damn, dude.
So, yeah, he was like, the only thing I could think is he's, like, trying to go to the light.
Yeah.
Because
And
he was, like, there, but he wasn't there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the way he'd look through us and be talking, having a full conversation.
And he even told his mom that he saw 4 figures surrounded in light.
Really?
That told him it's time to come with us. Like, when you're ready,
Wow.
it's time for you to come with us.
God.
So I don't know how you can like.
Insane.
Yeah, he said some shit, and what else? He said, he's sitting there, and this is when he's like coming in and out, and you could tell he was like had a foot on both sides, you know, and he's all, "Don't ask, don't tell."
I think I heard that.
He threw his hands up, and he's like, "I didn't ask."
Yeah, I saw that one. And you're trying to mourn, you're trying to be like, twos, and you're just like,
You're losing
the
a
whole
homie.
room starts laughing. You're just
Yeah.
like, what?
Unreal.
And he said, "I want to get a ride with the rich cats." It's like almost like he's speaking to God. And
Yeah.
they're like, all right, so you can take this bus to heaven, or we got this fucking caddy over here.
I want to go with these
I want
guys.
to go with the rich cats.
What a ledge.
Talked about like, he said, you, and this was when he was like, I'm standing right next to him, and he's just, like I said, staring straight through me, and he said, "You made the oceans."
Yeah.
So it's like he's
Wow.
I was there for that one,
He
too.
said you
and-
made the oceans?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
made
While
the
he was in and out of
oceans.
consciousness?
You're the guy who made the mountains. And I swear he accused some dude of stealing God's beer or something, too. Like, don't take that beer. Like, in the same
This is
conversation.
wild.
yeah, he said, I have it
It
written-
was
This is
insane, dude.
crazy.
I have it written down. He
This
said,
is-
"Hey, don't take his beers. You shouldn't be doing that."
Yeah, like he was stealing whoever is bringing him around, the Angels' beers or something.
Only Twos is going to be the guy to give us a glimpse into what's
Oh.
life
Yeah.
after.
Yeah, and this was one of my favorites. He's and like obviously this is all like things he's just kind of firing off. you
Yeah.
know? But he said, "A bunch of criminals. It was me, but I didn't do it." Oh man.
Unreal.
His stories
man.
in there too,
Unreal.
man. He would have a room of like 20 people and just light up comedy and just
Yeah.
have the whole room laughing.
So
When he was more
good.
lucid, not in these moments. This was when he was like really with us,
Yeah.
just telling stories about taquitas jumping off the scaffolding.
The
and
the backflip
crazy,
fail.
yeah, crazy shit. Just telling us the funniest stuff.
Yeah, it was pretty.
Yeah, I
pretty
walked out
special
of there
moment.
thinking like, damn, dude, do I need to rethink my life? There's something going on after here.
Makes
like
you
this,
think, man. Yeah. You know, it was pretty special, man. Like a lot of his really close friends came through, you
Yeah.
know, like people that he hadn't seen for a long time, but there was one friend that hadn't made it yet, and that was Mikey.
Yeah.
And it was a few days before he could make it, and I heard him on the phone, and Mikey's like, "I'm coming as soon as I can." I think he was out of the country. And,
Hey, he's out of the country.
and Two said something like, "I'm not going. I'll wait for you," or something.
Yeah.
You know, and I was in the hospital, and it was his mom and his baby mom and me, and he was not looking good. Like every breath was just like really shallow. He was not with us. Like he was breathing, but he wasn't.
He looked so frail, skinny.
Real bad. And Mikey had called me, and he's like, "I'm on my way. I just landed at the airport." And I was like, "You better hustle." you
Yeah.
know? And Mikey got there, and it was just us four in the room, and we're all just showing him love, you know, just surrounding him, holding his hands, and like just telling him we love him, you know. And Mikey read some words. I had read some words, some Native American prayer, and then Mikey read him some words to help him pass to the other side, like to help him with his journey, you know. It was really like a sacred moment. And it wasn't more than 10 minutes after Mikey showed up. We spent some time, we're all standing around him, and Mikey's reading this like passage from a book, and he finishes reading, and then Twos took his last breath right
Damn.
there. Yeah,
Waited for Mikey.
he fucking waited for Mikey.
That's so insane.
That's powerful stuff.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
powerful
That's
shit.
so crazy.
And it was like, you would think everyone would just be a mess. We just lost our fucking brother, you know?
Yeah.
But the room was like so peaceful.
It was
It
time.
was so like, no one was sad. It was
Yeah.
just like, oh man, like he's
The struggles.
in the room.
Yeah,
you
the
know?
struggle, the fight.
Because
is
he
over.
fought hard,
Yeah, he
dude.
fought.
He was in a lot of fucking pain
Yeah.
for a long time.
And he waited
it's
for
like-
Mikey, too. That's so sick, man.
Yeah, super special time. But
Yeah. Rest in peace, too.
Rest
Rest
in
in peace,
peace,
Twos,
Deuce.
man.
The
Never be
Deuce.
anyone like him.
Yeah, big dog.
one of a kind, man.
And I think that, like, man, that whole story is just like
It's insane.
special.
Yeah.
It's powerful. It's makes you rethink what's important. And to me, hearing it, like, it just speaks to your character. You know, you're the person that's going through the hardest times, that, you know, you're the person there that's there for them the most. And like, that to me is more respectable than being the best NBA player in the world. Who gives a shit? Like, your character,
there when it matters,
your character was there when it matters.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's inspiration, man. That's how you should be living your life. Like, I love that, man.
Yeah, I'd be there for any of my homies, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
It's
you're
like, that's
you're a
what's
real
important,
one, man.
you know?
And you've come on a long journey, and it's just rad to see how dope you're doing, man.
Thank you.
That's
Yeah.
that's the most
Yeah.
inspirational shit I've heard
Doing
in a
cool
long
shit.
time, man. Doing
Yeah.
cool shit. Still, Cab 2's still in there. You know,
Still there.
it's
Yeah.
still
You
in
still
there.
got that cap too?
I think it's in there somewhere, man. I got to just do some like.
Get you to the rail garden next
Calisthenics.
year and see what's up.
Yeah, I'm ready. Dude. Let's do this.
So there's a couple questions I like to just kind of run through at the end, just because they're kind of keep it uniform. Who would you say has been the biggest influence in your life and or in snowboarding?
Mikey LeBlanc.
Boom.
Boom,
Or
straight up,
J2.
straight up,
Sick.
easy.
Yeah.
That's, you don't even need to explain it. And then, what would you say, like, the 3 big lessons you learned going through snowboarding and through life? Like, what are the 3 biggest lessons that you've learned that you could kind of, like, if you could just regurgitate, you know what I mean?
3 biggest lessons. Remember who you are and where you came from.
Yep.
Just fucking always be yourself.
Yup.
Huge.
Pretty
That's a
like
banger.
golden rules.
Yep.
Mhm.
And I don't know. Go read the 4 agreements. Never take
Yep.
anything personal.
It's a
Do
great
your
book.
best.
It's a great book.
Fucking whatever the other 2 are. Those are my.
Find
those
out
are
for
my
yourself
bullet
by
Find
reading
out
it.
for yourself.
points. Yeah.
Man, this has been an unreal
Yeah, Bennee,
conversation,
man,
Bennee.
thank
Like,
you.
thanks so much for coming and sharing and like talking to us
Being open.
and being open, and now other people are gonna get to hear that and be inspired. And
Hey,
it's,
back at you guys.
Yeah,
It's been
dude.
an honor, man.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
stoked to have been able to be here to have this conversation
Yeah.
with you,
My
man.
pleasure.
Hell yeah. Sweet. Well, thanks
Much
for
love.
listening to the Bomb Hole. Thank you, Bennee.
Thank you, fellas.
Props,
Much
brother.
love.